$1,000. The contest keyword is win. W-I-N. You have 25 minutes after the hour to enter on the Fanatic app at 975thefanatic.com, or you can text it to the special contest short code 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in this company-wide contest. Winners will get a call from Beasley, so be sure to answer your phone. Contest rules 975thefanatic.com. Fanatic Parlay Cash stood up by Iron Mountain Men's Health. 5 chances to win each weekday, 8, 10 a.m., noon, 3, and 5. Your next chance to win is at noon. Again, it is win, W-I-N. Hoo-ah!
Middays with Marks. The voices you trust. John Marks, Sean Brace, and Ray Dunn. All Philadelphia, all day. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
We're rolling on a Thursday morning. Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. I am over-caffeinated, and I'm a little crazy today. Good morning, everybody listening on the radio, listening on the worldwide famous Fanatic app. If you don't have the app, you should be downloading it immediately. It's a great way to listen or watching on 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. If you haven't checked us out on YouTube, what are you thinking? Live? Get involved in the chat, or you can always go back, as I do when I do the dishes at night, and watch on my phone or watch on your laptop. As we say good morning to Raymond. Ray, what's your last name?
Dunn.
Oh, Ray Dunn, everybody. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning. How are you?
How are you, buddy? You're wearing a brown jacket today.
I am.
Are you going somewhere after the show?
I am.
Okay, where are you going?
New York.
Ooh. Going to New York after the show. Did we know that he's going to New York after the show?
I was going to put it on the show sheet of like, oh, look at this dumb thing I'm doing for the night. But
what are you doing? Why are you going to New York?
I've been able to see my friend now. Oh. My friend and his fiance and I are getting dinner. And then,
and then you're just coming back down?
Yeah.
Taking the train?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, figured I got a Thursday night. Now, in my head, it was the Phillies were off. I didn't think it was going to be the biggest sports night of all time. But, you know, hey, this was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, hold on a second. I didn't even think of that. What are you doing?
Well, I made the plans. Tickets been bought. It's too late.
All right. We say good morning to Sean Brace. Hey, Sean.
Hi. Third wheel, huh? Going up to NYC as a third leg?
Is this a Russini type of thing? What's going on with you?
No. Well, it's funny. They're like, you should stay. I mean, you guys have a studio apartment. I'm not sticking. Like, I'm catching the train back.
Studios are a little uptight.
Yeah.
I lived in a studio for about 6 months.
Love you guys, but
a little tight.
I'm going home.
All right, so this is now, and I mean, I'm sorry to have to do this, but I went from being the most confident Sixer fan in the Delaware Valley to I'm hurting today, man. I mean, Jesus, the Flyers, they're at the Red Wings, and this is going to be a tough game. I still have confidence in the Flyers. I'm not even saying to win this game. I'm just saying in general, it feels like things are rolling in the right direction for the Flyers as far as momentum. They're going to make the playoffs. I have confidence in that. The 76ers, though, while they're already in the play-in, very quickly have went from, man, they're favorites to take the 6th seed to where they could be the 8th or the 9th seed or 10th.
Yep.
They legitimately, tonight they're at the Rockets. Sean, this game, because they finish up with the Pacers, at the Pacers, and then home against the Bucks, they will be favorites in that game, and they should win that game because those two teams are trying to lose.
Sure.
You're going to have to win out if you have a chance to be the 6th seed, which means to avoid the play-in, and then you get the 3 seed. You're not playing one of the top 2 seeds. I don't know how I feel about the 76ers. They got to win this game tonight. In Houston.
Of course. Yeah, and that's what happens when you lose, the games that they have lost in the last couple days, last week or so. And I don't want to go ahead and beat a dead horse here, but that's why it was frustrating to just say, it's a back-to-back. He can't play against the Detroit Pistons. Of course, talk about Joel Embiid. But here we are, and we said with 3 games left, 2-1 might get it done, might get you into a playoff series. We'll see how that one plays out, but 2-1 in my eyes looked like it was a play-in game, and that's what we're staring at right now. Sure, they're going to beat the Pacers. They should beat the Milwaukee Bucks closing up the season, but tonight, John, you're going up against one of the hottest teams in the NBA in the Houston Rockets, winners of 7 straight, with a team that's deep, with a team that has a starting 5 that reached double figures, with a team that plays with heart. And that's where we're at with this discussion. Yeah. I hate to say it. It's gut check time. Do you have confidence in this 76ers team to show you the fight that it will take to win on the road in Houston?
So what have we heard for the last week you have the shows that have the insiders and the personalities, and they're talking about the NBA, and they go to Chris Broussard, and Chris Broussard says, oh, nobody wants to play the 76ers in the playoffs. Like, if they're the 6th seed, no one wants to play them. Paul George, Joel Embiid's getting healthy, Tyrese Maxey's back, VJ Edgecombe. Like, that's a team they could very easily make some noise. They could pull an upset. They could beat the Knicks. They could beat the Cavs, right? So you have Broussard say that. You have this insider say that. You have that insider say
Sean Bernard say that.
You have Sean Bernard say, and he means it. People on who's on Get Up that says it? Legler said whoever, right? They all say it.
Yep.
But now they got to do it. And to your point, do you have if we believe they have to win out to be the 6th seed? You agree that they have to win out?
It's looking like that, yes. I would say, okay, so if you're penning me down, sure. Yep.
Most likely they're going to have to win out.
Correct.
Sure, they maybe
get
don't
some
have
help.
to,
Yep.
but they're going to have to win out.
Yep.
And they have to beat the Rockets tonight, a hot team on the road. This is gut check time.
Oh, yeah.
This is Joel Embiid. You were mad about they wouldn't let you play and you were sick and all that other stuff. Can this team, as a team, not just as Joel Embiid going off for 45 points, as a team, Paul George, Joel Embiid, Maxi, VJ, do they have it as a team to come out tonight and beat a team that in the West that is better? They've been better. They've been on a hot streak. If they can beat the Rockets tonight, then look out, because now all the things that the insiders have said every time we had said, man, give me that series against the Knicks. Let them beat the Rockets, and that'll show me something. And I'm not going to tell you I have a ton of confidence in that happening, Sean.
And unfortunately, it goes back to January 22nd, boys. And that was when I decided with the bright idea of, we should do a post-game show. Let me get my guys together, Sam and Sean. And we've been live for the majority of following every Sixers game on socials. It was on January 22nd because of the win over the Houston Rockets at home. Went to overtime, 128-122, but that was a game that they showed fight. That was the game that they were dominant down low, pulling down great rebounds. Again, just giving you a little bit of extra of what it takes to fool you. And I got fooled at that point in time. And that's where I was at January 22nd, singing a much different tune here on April 9th. This team just doesn't have the fight. And Joel Embiid, when he gets on the floor, you know what you're getting for the most part. It didn't shock me he dropped 30-plus against the San Antonio Spurs. What did shock me is Tyrese Maxey was terrible. Now, does Maxey bounce back tonight? And
it's more than, you're right, it's more than just Embiid. Does Maxey can't come out and shoot I don't know what he shot against the Spurs, but if he has 20 points but he takes 25 shots to get 20 points, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
If the Rockets score 130 points, that's going to be a problem.
Maxey was 6 of 16, 1 for 4 from downtown, finished with 15 total points, was scoreless in the first half.
Yeah, he was bad. Yeah, you're right. He was bad in the first half, and he picked it up a little bit in the second, but they were losing. So here's the question, and this is great for the Davis Honda text line, for leaving the voice messages on the Davis Honda text line, and also the phone line. It's all the same number, Sean. I don't know if you knew that.
Love it.
610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Middays with Marks, John Marks, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn. And I'm not going down like this, man. I'm not going down going into this game feeling sorry for myself, telling myself this team can't do it. The 76ers can be the team that comes out tonight. The Rockets are sitting pretty down in Houston. We won 7 straight. We're feeling good. There's no way the Sixers are coming down here and winning the game. And you know what? These guys have something to prove. So, all right, it is a gut check time for me and for you and to the fans. Do you have confidence that this team is winning tonight? Because if you lose tonight, you're not likely to be anything but a play-in team. And then it's not going to be a fun postseason.
Ray, I know you're not a movie guy, but Wolf of Wall Street do anything for you?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Jordan Belfort. That's what John is right now. I believe. I'm not going out without a fight. This is the team. Nah.
Sixers are winning the game tonight, and I have a lot of confidence they're showing up. You know why?
Man.
You know why? Because Maxi. That's why. Embiid's going to show up and give you good Embiid. And if Maxi's the one, it needs to be a cohesive unit. This just can't be, all right, well, Embiid's going to go off and we're going to watch him and I'll have some shots off of him. This needs to be a Paul George game. This needs to be a Maxi game. This needs to be a Joel Embiid game. And then VJ's going to fit in doing whatever VJ does. I'm not worried about him.
Well, no.
But Paul George has shown you reasons since he's come back to believe. These guys like Paul George, too. Paul George just isn't some guy that's coming off a drug suspension and that is re-entered into the lineup. Him and VJ is his big brother.
I love VJ. I'm all on the Build Around 77 tour. That's where I'm at.
We might be on that after tomorrow. Shut up. Ray, where are you?
Oh, man, I'm in.
Are you really in?
Yeah, I mean, it's right there for you. It's
Yeah.
right there. It's the
Yeah.
Rockets. The issue for me tonight is, can you out-rebound that team? They're the
Good
best
luck.
rebounding team in basketball. You've struggled rebounding the basketball. That's been the biggest thing for them. And is this maxi thing a one-game struggle, or is it something that's seriously wrong?
Yeah, the hand could be, or the pinky.
You pointed out to me today. I was like, oh, yeah, he'll bounce
Could be.
back, and now you got me worried. So thanks a lot for that,
Yeah,
Sean
the
Brace.
hand could
I
be.
was in.
Yeah, it could be a
be.
hand issue.
Yep. That's a good team, though. Houston runs deep. They got a great starting five, really lengthy. And, oh, by the way,
Coaching,
good coach.
better coaching.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because Nick Nurse just has not lived up to my expectations. That's obviously, I would imagine we're all in agreement there. And it's just frustrating because, like, you think that you could have got a little bit more out of, the team and potentially a game against San Antonio on Monday with a little better coaching.
So it doesn't sound like you're very confident tonight.
No. This team had no fight, man. They have
I'm
no heart.
prepared to get hurt again.
Yeah, they got no heart.
No, they didn't have heart. They have heart.
Okay.
And you're going to say it tonight. 610-632-0975.
I'll be watching.
A lot of nerves today. I feel good about the Flyers. We'll talk about them. Scotty Hartnell coming up at 1 o'clock. Don't let us get hot talking about hockey. I'm just telling you, people.
Now there's the team that deserves the attention.
We have my cousin Bobby Marks coming up at 11 o'clock.
How about that?
A Russini top 5 video and a lot more. And the Phillies, they haven't scored in a couple days.
Ooh.
Since the Russini news dropped, I don't think they've scored a run. I blame her.
A good club.
That's coming up, Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. Let's talk about my dentist, Dr. Eric Pastor. All right, so we're going to talk about sleep apnea and snoring. But before I do that, Dr. Pastor and his team, and he's my dentist, so I know this, but he was recently named a top dentist by Philadelphia Magazine. This is for the 10th consecutive year. All right, so if you're looking for a dentist, you're in the Royersford area, a little bit out, believe me, it's worth it. Dr. Pastor's the best. But it was actually a routine dental visit that just talking to Dr. Pastor and his team, we started talking about sleep apnea and snoring. And I said, well, Dr. Pastor, I use this CPAP machine. Why do you use that? I don't know. Does it work? Yeah, but I rip the mask off all the time, right? Well, listen, Dr. Pastor and his team can offer you an advanced, comfortable sleep apnea device that is designed to keep your airway open, therefore helping you get better sleep, feeling better, and eliminate the snoring and sleep apnea. And here's a great thing. This sleep apnea device is covered by most insurance plans. This is not a dental issue. This is an insurance thing that includes Medicare because sleep apnea is a medical condition. It's so bad for your health. The health risks are serious. Just Google it. So if you tried CPAPs and you don't like it, or you're a snorer and you're like, well, what am I going to do? Those strips you put over the nose, that's not the problem. This is sleep apnea. And insurance, most insurance plans do cover this. All right? So reclaim your sleep. Take your life back. Call Dr. Pastor today. 610-67-SLEEP. 610-67-SLEEP. drpastor.com. drpaster.com.
Likely scenario, if you get that third spot in the Metropolitan Division, your first round series is against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, please let it happen.
It's Russ, right?
That was Russ Joy yesterday.
Kind of crystal clear.
Snow the goalie. Yeah, so he joined us on Zoom. We made history.
How about that? What was the Zoom you talk about?
It's this new thing. You might have heard of it.
Huh.
Think about like the bad things from COVID, the good things like remote work and Zoom. It's pretty cool.
Is it good, though?
Remote work, I don't think is.
No. And that changed everything.
Okay, it can be. It can be.
Sure, but here's what I push back on. The whole media, and again, we're different. Radio's different. Local radio's different. But now you got, like, all these big-time shows, and it's like, go plug your microphone in and do it from your desk. Like
what?
PTI.
Oh, it's
Get in the studio.
Screw those shows. Who cares?
No, that's not.
Like, of all the things I worry more about cities like Philadelphia that can't now that have high rates of vacancy because nobody wants to pay for office space because people don't come into work, and then the restaurants that get affected by that. I mean, think about that. If you were a business that relied on the people that come to work every day, a pizza shop.
Oh yeah,
and now nobody goes into work. Guess what happens at that pizza shop? You're worried about PTI.
He's sitting there like, wow, Wilbon's really delayed today.
And believe me,
Yell at Kornheiser, you old man.
It is a very Sean Brace observation. You're still watching PTI. I'm worried about cities and the economy.
I never miss it.
Entertain me, damn it.
Every day.
You're worried
Stevie
about PTI. Idiot.
It's recorded on YouTube. Kornheiser and Wilbon.
Part of the problem with remote work is that then no one wants to come into work.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, for the most part, my wife does a lot of remote work, and she's far more efficient doing it from home than going into the office. You go into the office, you're telling me that people don't just not do work in the office? Sure, you can't do laundry in the office, but you can go do laundry, throw a load of laundry in, and then go do a meeting. Like, not everybody doesn't not work when they're at home. People don't work when they go in the office. I mean, Jesus, we've worked in offices before.
Yep.
We know that. Anyway, what Russ said, they get a win tonight, and they're slight underdogs at Detroit. Red Wings are minus 129. Flyers are plus 108. I'm not going to act like that we're not hockey experts all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. But it seems like this is a pretty coin flip type of game. You're on the road. It doesn't sink the Flyers if you don't win, that's for sure. But you get a win tonight. Now you can start being like, all right, we can start looking ahead to potential matchups. I can't start looking ahead to potential matchups. And if it's Pittsburgh and it looks like it'd be Pittsburgh, that'd be fantastic. I mean, do we agree on this? A lot more confidence in the Flyers making the playoffs than the Sixers making a top 6 seed?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about it in my mind. Oh, last night I was doing some digging on Mr. Porter Martone, just trying to catch up.
Looking at some film
on his path and how he got here. You know, he was just playing Western Michigan a couple weeks ago, and now scoring big time goals for the Flyers organization against the Bruins. Like
19 years old.
Yeah, I'm getting jacked up about this kid, Porter Martone. But here's the deal. When we looked at the schedule, 10, 12 games, I talked to you about this yesterday, the Red Wings were featured 3 times, and it was a good thing. It was one of those reasons where it was like, oh, okay, you could start to believe or see the path that this team can make a run to the playoffs. Talking about the Flyers, because they had a team in front of them,
right,
like the Red Wings, and they had 3 matchups against them. So here we are. This is number 3. They've split so far. It's a tough spot, John. I will be super impressed if they go out there and get this game. I would be really impressed. Not shocked, though, because this team has it going. They're playing with a ton of confidence. All you got to do is listen to them after the game. There's a lot going in the Flyers' favor right now.
Ray, how do you feel?
More confident in them making the playoffs than the Sixers being a top 6 seed. For sure at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I think last week we were all fired up about the fact they got to 6, the tiebreaker, even we came in Monday and the tiebreaker was still in their favor. That was a massive missed opportunity in the second half without Wemby against that Spurs team. That Spurs team is good, but they picked a bad time to have a bad second half.
But also, like, nothing really out of the ordinary happened, though, right? We didn't expect them to beat the Spurs. We didn't expect them to win both games.
But.
What happened was around them. The Magic won 4 straight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but hang on, because when you come out of that locker room at halftime and that monster, that alien is no longer on the floor, but you still have your guy, Like, everything's got to change. And, oh, by the way, for crying out loud, you're actually playing for something. Yeah, I get it. Like, on the surface, on paper, Sixers weren't supposed to win that game against San Antonio Spurs.
Right.
Wemby goes down, and now it's got to happen. You got to win that game. And this goes to the point that they have no heart. They don't have a coach. They got no heart. And they got run off the court. And Maxi struggled. And Embiid played his butt off in that game, in my opinion. But they just, like, they didn't attack. The blood should have been in the water, and it clearly was not.
Yeah, so to reach the playoffs for the Sixers, and this is after the play-in games have concluded. So this just isn't to be a top 6 seed. Mm-hmm. This is, they're going to make the play-in, they clinch the play-in spot. So that's long gone.
But that's not the playoffs.
But that's not the playoffs.
Correct.
You have to actually win to advance to the playoffs. What would you think the odds are of that happening?
Of the Sixers
The Sixers making the playoffs. So no matter how they make it, whether it's through a play-in game or they actually make the playoffs, they would have to win through the play-in game. What are the odds?
It's there in front of them.
They are. I'll give you this hint. They're significant favorites.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Significant.
Yeah, they have games in front of them, and they should potentially beat a team like the Charlotte Hornets or whoever else they would go into play in, and they would advance to the playoffs. It's not.
On the BetParks app, they are minus 835.
Wow.
So you'd have to put up $835 to win 100.
Yeah, I was nowhere near that.
Honestly, is this even right? It's plus 500 for no, and I wouldn't bet that. But minus 835, I mean, that's a huge favorite.
Yeah, I'm minus 700 right here on DraftKings. So there you go.
Assumption of health, assumption of this team's going to be able to put it together and not just drop off in 2 games. Because right now they're going to be 1 to 7 or 8. So if you win that 7-8 game, well, you think.
No, that's not even true.
I think those odds reflect the belief that they'll be 1 to 7 and 8 because then you just have to win 1 game to get yourself into the playoffs.
All right, so the Sixers have the Rockets tonight, and they're only 4-point underdogs.
Yeah.
That line tells me,
And they're currently in the 8th seed against the Magic in a 7-8 matchup. And the winner of that would go on to take on the Boston Celtics, and you would cash that.
You could lose 1 game in that scenario, and then if you win that next game, you're in.
Yeah.
If you win that game, you're automatically in.
Correct.
So that's probably
That
why
plays into it. Yeah.
But they're not locked into that spot. But so they have the Rockets tonight. This is obviously going to be a tough game. I think they can win this game tonight.
Would you?
That's a shorter line.
If like that whack-a-mole guy out there that's pumping that article out where he got $10,000 from the Atlantic, right? If I gave you $10,000, would you even think about laying it on the 76ers making the playoffs?
No. I would put it on the Flyers before the Sixers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. But the last 2 games of the season at the Pacers, and Ray, the Pacers are actively trying to lose games.
That's true.
And then you're home against the Bucks. I just worry it's Doc Rivers' last game coaching. And the guys are going to get behind him because he's been such a great coach.
So here we go again.
Nobody rallies the troops.
This
like
is a potential
Doc Rivers.
50-point loss.
Don't know basketball.
Right? If you win tonight.
He would coach his ass off, though, to ruin your fun.
But that's what I worry about. And isn't Giannis could play?
What is the latest there? There's no way they allow
don't
him.
let him play.
There's no way they allow him to come back. No way.
But anyway, we thought this. What did we say with the Sixers? On this trip, they had to win, we said 3, maybe 4, right?
We had to go 3-3 down the stretch.
3-3, we thought that would get it done. 3-3 is not going to get it done because the Magic have won 4 straight. And the Raptors won. Well, the Raptors won. They played tonight in Miami. So, and then the Hawks have lost some games.
I think that's also what's playing into this, too, is the fact that I watched Raptors Heat, or like the condensed down version of it right up on the game, and that does not look like a matchup that's going to go in the Sixers' favor. That Heat team seems like it's ready to hit Cancun or, stay in Miami for the rest of the offseason. That's a fun enough place. But they look like they're toast.
Yeah, agreed.
The Hornets are the team that everyone's pumping up, including, let me tell you right now, you want to know who's being disrespected? And it kills me to say it, the Knicks. The Knicks are being disrespected. Every single team that could be a potential playoff matchup, everybody's like, watch out, Sixers, Knicks, they'll take them. Oh, watch out, Hornets, watch out, they'll take the Knicks. I'm telling you, I think the Knicks are going to put it together. Now, they have a future matchup against the Celtics. Good luck there.
They'll win a series or whatever. Yeah, they're not beating the Celtics, agreed.
No.
Celtics are too good of a team. Could they beat the Pistons? Yeah.
I think so.
I think they could.
Yep.
I think they could lose, too. Sixers right now to be the 6th seed according to this playoff probability chart that I have, it's like the Jimmy Johnson draft chart.
It's like Manute Bull, though. It's Manute Bull's rest in peace.
It's
Manute.
It's a laminated chart, too.
Oh, okay.
So if it rains, I don't lose it. It's 24% for the Sixers to be the 6th seed. The Hawks and the Raptors, the Raptors actually have a 48% chance of being the 5th seed.
Wow.
And it's only 47. So, in other words, now this has changed very quickly with the 76ers. So, awesome. That's just great. The Phillies haven't scored in 2 games. Sean Bryce.
Speaking of good things, good vibes. What's that all about?
Well, the good thing is they're out west.
Yep.
So, not everybody watched it.
Correct.
It was the day game yesterday.
Correct.
So, I was out and about. I watched more than I didn't watch, but I didn't watch the whole game. And after Nola gave up the home run, then the immediate thought was, and I was watching at that point, it was like, oh, well, they're not going to win this game. Last game of a road trip, not a long road trip, but still, they're flying home. They had the day off against the Diamondbacks. That's a crusher. And Nola was pitching really well. 6th inning, gets a couple of runners on, and could have went to a lefty, Ray. Could have went to Tanner Banks in the bullpen.
He was ready to go.
Left Nola in, and he did what Nola does in the 6th inning a lot of times.
Rumors out there right now that Mark's a topper. Interlocking hands right now, trying to make sure that ERA doesn't go where he doesn't want it to go.
Love it.
I'm not trying to pay too much attention to it, but I'm being fair. I said Nola was pitching very well. He was. He had a good. They have a good club. He had a good game yesterday.
A team that's supposed to average 5 runs a game can't put any runs across.
But that's the point. Is he gave up the home run in the 6th inning? Yeah. So what? What do you think that he's gonna put up goose eggs the entire game? I mean, Jesus, look how much money this lineup is paid to do nothing for 2 straight games. This is the problem with baseball. This is the problem. It's a long season.
Yep.
And it's hard not to blow a gasket after they don't score a run in 2 games. I know that you shouldn't. But, I'm not going to – do you want me to react to the game, the last 2 games? It sucked.
Yes, it did. And I don't want you to stop. I want you to blow that gasket.
Oh.
However, let me just throw this at you. Got to be a little fair, right? They're banged up.
Oh,
No JT, no Bohm yesterday. Come on, right? You look at that lineup in there. Sosa, right? Didn't Sosa play last night? Or no, am I tripping on that? Did I get that wrong?
Yeah.
Didn't he play? I thought Sosa was in the lineup.
didn't, that's for sure.
He did not play yesterday. Yeah. Bohm was in the lab. You're thinking.
I'm thinking
you got the first game where they didn't score any runs.
There it is.
The fact that we have to specify which lineup didn't score runs is the problem here. They put out 2 different lineups. They didn't score runs either time. Yeah.
Good call.
We have Rob Thompson, topper. He's not flipping over tables in the. I said that already this season. I said they need clubhouse after the game. Might have been an overreaction. Here's Rob Thompson out to the game.
Yeah, I think they're trying to do too much. No doubt. They're frustrated, and we're just going through one of those times. We'll come out of it, but it's frustrating.
All right, so the Flyers, the Sixers, and the Phillies right now. Forget about their opponent. Right now, who do you have the most confidence in? Knowing that the Phillies has almost the entire season ahead of them, so it doesn't matter right now how much confidence you have in them. It's the Flyers, right? The Flyers have to save us right now, Sean.
Yeah, I hear that. I just want to go back to Rob Thompson's audio there just for a second. And I get it. I understand how we operate in this city. We have a football mentality. They're 6-6. Like, we're going to lose our minds. Topper's going to he is going to flip a table if he has to continue to answer questions like that in April. They're 6-6.
Oh, but they're just asking, what do you think's going on with the players? They didn't score a run in 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not.
That's fair.
Oh, that's not nothing.
20 innings, man. It's been 20 innings.
Yeah, 20 innings. And that damn Diana Russini, all the guys keep talking about it in the clubhouse. Since that news broke, they haven't scored. Seriously, think about that. People laugh when I say that she's responsible. She is.
I think you got to go ahead and call up Dante Nori from Reading ASAP.
I don't think you have to call up anybody. Other than maybe tweak the lineup around a little bit.
Well, so
Bryson Stott has been brutal.
Yeah, he has.
Yep.
I listened to Stark yesterday. Oh, did you hear that interview?
I did.
Was your heart breaking? Because
that was early in the program.
They he crushed Otto Kemp. Jason Stark is officially no. He's not in the zone by any means.
So Ray,
wow. If you missed that interview, man, hopefully Otto Kemp's mother wasn't listening to the station. Let's just put it that way.
I like radio bits, and but I'm also not, as far as takes and things like that, I'm not going to blatantly ignore fairly obvious evidence that's in front of me. He's got a better chance of being in the minors than playing a lot of left field or third base right now.
Absolutely.
And they need another outfielder. They can't have Otto Kemp as the fourth outfielder. The problem is who's going to be the other outfielder, the utility guy?
As much as I want to take this out on you, John, it's okay. You don't run the team. The fact that I listened to this offseason and I was gaslit into being told that this guy is a championship contributor. This guy is a World Series player.
It's not what they said.
Little bit.
Championship type player.
Yeah, okay.
Is what they said.
The same thing. We are good. We got Adolis Garcia in November. He's playing right field. We're fine. We got a left field of Marsh and Kemp is fine as the left fielder. I was told all offseason. Now, hey, we're only 12 games in. I'm very, very happy to see the next 150 games. All of us been proven wrong that looked at this offseason and said, where's the right-handed bat left field? They were like, Otto Kemp, obviously. But, man, has this been a bust so far? And
12 games
such an obvious one. That's the problem.
He hasn't. I'm not calling it yet.
1 for 2 yesterday.
All I'm saying is that if he does end up in the minors because they need an extra outfielder, I get it. It hasn't been the start of the season I was hoping for. All right,
It was just right in front of us the whole time.
Right, I know, but how about this? Bohm also sucks.
Yeah.
And I heard, he's going to be fine. He's going to have a contract year. He's going to be motivated. All right, well, if Bohm was hitting the cover off the ball, fine. All right, but he's not hitting either.
This is the fatigue. This is it. This is the whole thing. We've seen this show before. We've watched the movie. All right, I know in Wolf of Wall Street he's going to go up and give the speech that he's not leaving. I've seen the movie a million times, you know?
It's a good movie.
I know that they're going to get pull happy and ground out a million times and go through stretches where they don't score runs in 20 innings. I mean, this is a little extreme. This is a little much.
When baseball sucks, baseball sucks.
Yeah, pretty much.
It really does. There's no middle ground.
We'll be back this weekend. I'll be there Friday night. Who cares?
Yeah, how many games have you been to already?
5.
5 or 6 home games.
Calm down, Ray.
I'm not going to. You were on the air with me when I bought the ballpark pass. You said that's a great idea. You literally co-signed this.
Dante Nori. I'm all about this kid in Reading. He's an outfielder. He's making He's got my attention.
Well, he should. The World Baseball Classic, everybody's raving about the kid.
Correct.
And he was a first-round draft pick.
First-round draft picks, 27th overall. He's a lefty, though.
Yeah, it doesn't help the leftiness of the lineup. But he's not. I mean, let's go to a Reading game. And
he's 21.
And check him out.
I'll go to a Reading game.
I've been many times.
I'll have a couple beers there.
Hell yeah.
I can afford it.
That's the other thing about this group. The lefties. At this point, I would just go hire. I would sign Cole Hamels out of the Phillies broadcast booth if I was playing the Phillies. Say, hey, you throw 5 innings for us today because you're a left-handed pitcher, because that's how bad they've been against left-handed starters so far. It's been ugly.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
That right-handed lineup's not enough right now.
It is.
And it's not even Otto Kemp's fault. Some of the better paid right-handed bats haven't done against lefties yet.
So we're having former NBA executive Bobby Marks. Now he is one of the experts for ESPN. You see him all over the platform.
He's really good.
Assistant GM with the Nets. He came up starting as an intern. He came up in the front office. So he understands the salary cap and the luxury tax and all that stuff. But I'm wondering from his standpoint, and he has contacts all around the league, is Embiid's contract movable? And is it movable that no one will take it? Or, well, sure, you can trade him, but you're going to take a lot of bad contracts in return? Is it what is the view of Embiid around the league? We saw what just happened with Daryl Morey and Joel Embiid, and Embiid didn't show up couldn't make it to the team activity, and they benched him. And the next night or 2 nights later, he said, well, that's a question for Daryl Morey. Clearly, the relationship between the Sixers and Joel Embiid isn't great. I just are we doing it again next year with a different GM or a different whatever? I
think it's a very fluid conversation. And I know Bobby Marks has been asked about this before. I think he was on with the morning show guys probably 2-3 months ago. And they broached that conversation with him. And he said simply that, yeah, look, it's a tough contract. Why give him that contract if you plan on moving him, essentially? But as we continue to move, Joel Embiid sounds off. It might be in everybody's best interest to hit the reset button, but is it possible with that contract? I don't know. That's a good question. I also want him to, like, his thoughts as far as with the fact that Josh Harris has now brought in Bob Myers. We're seeing him a little bit more. Does Bobby Marks think that the writing is on the wall for Daryl Morey, and whether or not that is fair or not to have this conversation?
And will he say it? Because it's one thing to be, it's another thing to come on Philadelphia radio and say it, knowing that is going to get clipped and it's going to be put on social media. He understands what happens. Now, when you say something, it's not like the old days where maybe it gets picked up by a blog or something like that. Boom, we put the video out because it's good content, and then now it's in everybody's 76ers algorithm.
He's on TV a lot, so I'm sure hopefully he's not checked his mentions.
He knows that.
He's not Orlovsky.
Right, yeah, he's not arguing with people. I think you said it best. It is a very fluid situation. They make a little bit of a run here, and they win a playoff series, which I don't know if you should be expecting, or I don't think you should be expecting. That may change some things.
Yeah.
But last week, Joel Embiid, a week ago yesterday, was not attending a team activity and then tweeting out that they won't let him play basketball. So, I mean, that was a week and a day ago. And then he played Friday night and said that's a question for Daryl Morey. And took absolutely no accountability for his actions, as usual.
Yeah.
By the way.
And then he goes out there and continues to play hard, and he plays well.
And then he goes out and he's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's Joel Embiid. He is one of the best to ever do it with that size and that frame. It's just unfortunate we can't see it a lot more than it happens.
All right, Davis, how the text line, Ray? Something on the Sixers?
Yeah, Ben from Bucks County. I don't want the Sixers to get the 7th seed. I want either the 8th seed or the 5th seed, so you play Detroit and the winner of the Cleveland series. You do the opposite. I don't think we're going to beat the Knicks, and I definitely don't think that we're going to end up beating the Celtics. So if you're the 7th seed, you play the Celtics, it's all over at this point.
Yeah, I appreciate you as a 76er fan. You can't be doing you can't be being like, oh, well, then they can win this. They're not winning many series if they're able to win one series.
This is about experience for VJ and Tyrese, and that's it.
We can have, like, I can say I want the Knicks because I think that would be a great series to cover and be a part of. I'm not doing they beat the Knicks, and then, now they can they can beat the Cavs, and then you never know, the Celtics should get knocked off, and then they win this. Man, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to be relevant in a playoff series here.
Yeah, that conversation's only reserved for teams at the top. Like, you can miss me. You know, if you're into playing, I'd rather play this. No. Keep it moving.
All right, coming up, Bobby Marks, ESPN, 11 o'clock, but it's still the talk of the world. Not even the NFL world. I was at Wawa this morning. People were talking about Diana Russini.
Really?
Getting coffee, yep. And guess what? Diana tweeted this morning.
No.
What did she tweet?
Come on.
I can't wait to talk about this. The story that it's funny. There are people out there that try to say this isn't a big story. And it's like, you don't get to say whether a story is a big story or not a big story. Either it's a big story or it's not. This continues to be a big story. And it's isn't it really like indicative of the age and the time and society that we live in today that this has become such a big thing? And I love it. By the way, most of those things I hate, I love this.
Oh, this is great.
This is great.
Did she put out a statement?
She did not put out a statement.
What?
No,
wow.
This is what we call a big market tease.
Oh, I like that.
That's coming up next. What is going on and the latest on Diana Russini? That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. back. It is Middays with Marks. 97.5 The Fanatic. Bobby Marks, my cousin, Bobby. Bobby Marks.
Hey.
Not related to me. But his name's Bobby Marks. Good name. He's from Passaic County. My grandfather was from Passaic County.
He's a very handsome man.
Handsome
too.
bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I like bald men, I'd probably say him over you.
Oh, that's all right. He's got a little smaller
By a little
noggin. Yeah, he's a little less weight. Oh, dude, I'm getting closer. I'm telling you right now.
Closer to what?
I'm doing it.
What, GLPs?
Yep.
Just getting black market GLP?
Some way, somehow.
Well, then you just go to all you have to do is go to the website. They'll
Yeah.
find some nurse practitioner that says, sure, you need it.
People microdose them.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that.
I don't know if it's healthy. I'm not trying to get people
I don't know
scared.
if what does that mean? Just lose a little bit?
You know, Charles Barkley has a lot of wisdom, and he said March Madness that there's no fat old people. And that hit home, man. That hit home in a big way. All right? Like, I was like, wait a minute.
Well, I
man.
sure hope this is safe because otherwise we're eliminating about half our generation.
Yeah, you're right about that. Everybody's eyes are going to be gone in like 10 years.
I mean, seriously, who could be fat these days? All you have to do is take the shot, and then if you want to,
Could be pills,
it's not going to
too.
be for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, well,
I'm getting closer.
right into Diana Russini, Ray.
Hell of a segue, boys.
You know the AJ Brown crowd, the AJ Brown he's not being traded crowd. What are you people talking about? Is similar to the Diana Russini story isn't big crowd. Or the Diana Russini, Mike Vrabel, they didn't actually do anything crowd. There's no evidence of that, right? Have we moved past that? Because earlier this morning, John Kincade, during one of the breaks, was like almost giving me his pitch on why they are having an affair. And I'm like, John, it's already established that they're having it. We don't need to argue about that. Like, this is today. Yeah. We're not going to debate that. There's nobody that actually believes that.
Correct.
Or you're a total idiot if it's not happening. But this story continues to. You know what's happened now, and we'll play the best of Diana. What are we calling the segment?
Oh, these are the red flag rankings of Diana Russini. Various hits from Radio Row and other radio shows around the country where she has just destroyed her husband and then some.
Well, it's weird.
Yeah, let me just tell you right now, the signs were there, clear and obvious.
I mean, I guess I just didn't, because I heard her say these things before. In particular, the Eagle, the one where she's talking about being an Eagle, like, my husband's an Eagles fan. Like, really? Like, you say two words to me because they lost? Like, get over yourself. Like, it came off to me as being like, all right, I know you're trying to be funny, but you're like, all right, you're coming off as a little bit nasty. And, like, I'm an Eagle fan. But, like, all right, like, it's not funny what you're doing. But you know how I felt. I knew she was a fraud. I knew she was a stone hack. I called her a hack.
Yep.
And and then we couldn't get James Palmer on. It's like, oh, maybe because I called her, his podcast partner, a hack. I'm sure he's distancing himself from.
I don't know if that podcast is available right now.
Well, why not? She tweeted this morning. She's back.
That's unbelievable. That's a good court. Let me tell you, man. That's a good company gal, though. If she's going to be continuing to fire through it.
So I'm sorry. I'm looking for the tweet right now. But she sent a tweet this morning that is, you would think that nothing happened. She is just saying, you know what? Let's go.
So she retweeted last night.
Yeah, she retweeted a Dane Brugler tweet, and Dane Brugler is their draft guy for the Athletic.
Like I said, a good company gal. She's a good foxhole gal.
Also retweeted John Harbaugh and Dexter Lawrence, because as the world is crashing down on top of you, you need to retweet that John Harbaugh thinks everything's good with Dexter Lawrence. And then she tweets out today, the NFL informed its teams about when they could expect to see replacement officials visiting facilities if a deal is not reached by next month, when the current CBA with the NFL Referees Association expires. And then her column on that. That was definitely what I was waiting to hear. The first thing to hear from Diana Russini was about the NFL refs and the potential labor dispute with them. Right? So that's what she puts out. It really is. I admire her I literally admire her for trying to act like that nothing's happening and just being like, okay, I'm gonna act like nothing happened and I'm not gonna mention this and I'm not gonna discuss it or anything like that. And even though the world's crashing down around me and I'm potentially losing everything, I'm just gonna talk about referees, the NFL referees.
Yeah. Look, she could easily play, this the right way. Oh no, maybe I've got it wrong. I thought when you're a reporter, credibility is a premium. Like, that's at the top of the list.
Consideration.
As an insider, as someone who puts out information, if you don't have credibility, like, who cares what you say, right?
She's very successful, and she obviously has somebody that's advising her on what to do here. At least I would hope.
It's got to be that guy that said already
Well,
to put the statement out there.
The guy from The Athletic was like, no, nothing to see here. Move on. So maybe that's their strategy is there's nothing to see here. They both denied it. Now we're going to move on like nothing happened. See, for Mike Vrabel, other than his marriage and his wife and his family, there's no repercussions for what he did. There's no repercussions other than maybe you look at him as being like, oh, you cheater.
Yeah.
Russini, this could cost her job.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you. Yeah, we know how it works. Let me check. Vrabel, a good coach?
Right. It doesn't take anything away from him being a good coach.
Were the Patriots, were they successful last year?
He took him from being a dog crap team to the Super Bowl.
Vrabel ain't going nowhere.
Right.
All right? Yeah, exactly.
Russini, like you had said, it's about integrity and I mean, does it even matter? Because she can put out tweets and it gets engagement, but if 95% of the engagement is you loser, which was already happening, it's not like this wasn't happening before because everybody can see right through her.
Yeah.
So, I
mean, it should matter. Will it end up mattering?
I don't think so.
It should, though.
It has to.
It should.
Isn't The Athletic better? Like, isn't it looked at in a different light than other outlets? I thought.
I mean, even anywhere in this industry.
To your point,
ESPN ain't keeping her.
To your point, no, and I agree with you. To your point, ESPN, this is what they do. This is the hot take stuff. So this is why they employ people like Russini because they know exactly what they're doing, right? Like that's why, and that's what she is to a little bit to The Athletic. But to your point, it's supposed to be real sports coverage and not just that crap. And that's why you get The Athletic is like you can watch First Take and all those shows if you want to be entertained and you want to do the take stuff, or you can I go to The Athletic because I want real coverage on sports.
Yes.
That's where I read every morning. So at least even though we fool around a lot on the show, I know what I'm talking about. I know what's happening with the teams. You're not going to get many things by the collective, all three of us, and that's what The Athletic's for. Same thing for The Inquirer. Jeff McClain and those guys, right? But now she's a part of it, and she's really not. She has not earned the level of being the top NFL reporter for The Athletic. She's not that. But in the digital world, she had become that because she got the engagement. She had the followers. Even though people ragged on her and ripped her, she elevated herself to that. To me, this takes all of that away.
Yep.
It should. I don't know if it's going to.
And she also has the contacts.
Coming up, Bob. Yeah, but does that dry up? If you're a GM and you're having a conversation with Diana Russini, really? Man, I bet there's some GMs erasing text messages on their phones yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I bet you there's some wives going, wait a minute.
Yep.
Didn't you meet with her? Oh,
you were in Sedona for a hiking trip with her?
Oh, is that the Diana you talked to me about?
Coming up next, Bobby Marks, ESPN, Joel Embiid, the Sixers, Nick Nurse, Daryl Morey. Next.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Big night for the playoff push. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call a 24-hour victim helpline 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. Sixers Rockets tonight at 8 o'clock. The Sixers currently 8th in the East. They are one game back of that 6th seed to get out of the play, and they have 3 games remaining on the season. You're able to listen to the game tonight, Sixers and Rockets at 8 o'clock right here on The Fanatic. Coming up in the next segment, ESPN's Bobby Marks will join us to break down everything going on across the association, give his thoughts on the Sixers. Flyers Red Wings tonight at 7 o'clock. The Flyers 3rd in the Metro Division. The Red Wings 3 points out of a wild card right now. 4 games left in the Flyers season. You can listen to tonight's game on WMMR. We'll talk to Scott Hartnell coming up at 1 o'clock. Phillies off day today. They lost 5-0 to the Giants yesterday. They've gone 20 innings without scoring a run. They are back at home tomorrow night. This update's also brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Ray Donner, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Both teams play tonight. Sixers on the Fanatic, Flyers on our sister station WMMR.
Nice.
How about that, Sean?
Let's do it.
Well, to discuss the 76ers is, listen, he's great on ESPN. I've been following his career since he came up with the Nets in their front office. And you may say, well, how did you know about him in the front office? Because his name's Bobby Marks.
Oh.
Not a lot of Markses out there. There's some, but not a lot.
Famous Markses.
Right, and that's M-A-R-K-S. He's not like Groucho X.
That's exactly what
They
I'm
have to be in a separate list if we were doing top 5 Markses.
And this is last name Marks, because obviously Mark is.
Yeah, no, not the first name Mark.
Yeah.
And not Mark, not M-A-R-K-S hyphen M-A-R-K hyphen S. This is last name Marks, and Bobby Marks of ESPN, who is an NBA insider for ESPN. It does a great job on all their platforms. Joins us right now. Bobby, how you doing?
I'm good. I actually like that heading of the show. I feel right at home with that.
Oh yeah, so Bobby's on Zoom.
That's
I should actually pull it up. You're only our second guest on Zoom. We just started doing this. So it's
New
very
technology. I don't know if you've heard of Zoom before, Bobby, but we're doing it.
Cool. Now, have you been on before? I know there's an Anita Marks that does media up in New York. Have you done a show? This is the first time you're being interviewed by a Marks?
Yeah, it is. There's a Sean Marks is the general manager of the Nets.
Oh, that's right.
So I have been, I was in LA back, I think in February for the trade deadline, and I'm walking down the street and someone yelled, Sean Marks. And I was like, well, he's like 6'7" and he's from New Zealand and he's got an accent. So I've been mistakenly, I guess, for him before. We're totally two different people.
That's funny.
All right. So we appreciate you joining us there, Bobby. So I think maybe in a lot of markets, you may get the first question being like, well, you think the Sixers can make the playoffs? That's actually not my first question because I think we know the expectations of this team. And while some people will say they're dangerous in a series, and I don't disagree with that, really the bigger focus in a couple of weeks is most likely going to be the future of Joel Embiid. Is Daryl Morey around? Is Nick Nurse around? So I'm just going to ask you from your contacts around the league and kind of what you know and what you see. First with Joel Embiid, he's got a big contract. He's got the other stuff that we saw with not making the team activity and then calling out Daryl Morey. He's also one of the most talented players you'll see in the NBA ever. Is the contract movable? Where the Sixers go from here, and from your experience in the front office, what would you do going forward if you were the Sixers?
Well, I mean, listen, I think the contract is movable. I think any salary is movable. It's the matter of what you want back, or if you just want to kind of wipe the slate clean. We saw with Anthony Davis in Dallas. Dallas moves off him, and they get back a bunch of expirings and some future first. I think it's interesting that the playoffs really play a big role in a lot of this, because as you guys have seen, there's and I'm not talking about Philadelphia, other teams, there becomes a sense of desperation when teams lose early in the playoffs. We saw it a year ago with Houston. They go out and get Kevin Durant. When I was in Brooklyn, we lose in the first round of Chicago. We go out and do that Boston trade that certainly turned out to be not very good. So I do think there would be a market. It's just a matter of kind of what are you looking for? You just kind of looking to kind of wipe that, get that money off your books and, give yourself some financial flexibility here. I think, listen, the injury history is there. We know that. I think there has been a little bit more consistency here. I think if I was a team, you're probably saying, well, we're, between him and Paul. Paul's come back and has played pretty well since the suspension here, and he's got 2 years left as a player option there. I just think it's a matter of what direction this organization wants to go. You've seen teams building through younger players is kind of the way to go. This team is kind of built more under the old CBA. The new CBA doesn't allow you as much for three players with top heavy contracts. But I will say this, and I'm starting to outline all my offseason articles, and I've not written the Sixers yet, but I've done a lot of my research. There's a way to kind of combat that. Boston has shown you that there's a way to combat when you have Brown, Tatum, and I guess you can put Derek White in that. When you draft really well and you have a really good player development system, and you look at the Celtics bench with Neemias Queta, who is a two-way guy, and Jordan Walsh and Baylor Shireman, and we can go down a list of players here, Hugo Gonzalez, who have really contributed here. So there is a way to combat that where you're not kind of in a bind when you're players are injured and you have that top heavy salary. But yeah, I mean, Philadelphia is going to have some decisions to make whenever this season ends. And it will probably be starting with Embiid just because there's more of a body work than there has been in the past.
Yeah, I mean, and Bobby, I agree with you that it's all about what you get back. Sure, you can get a bunch of crappy contracts back in return and move Joel Embiid, but it's a matter of what the strategy is of the 76ers going forward. And that's the next question is, well, whose strategy is it? Whose vision is it? And I know the Sixers brought in, or Josh Harris and his company brought in Bob Myers last year or however many months ago that they did. And he's kind of been visible at some Sixers games recently.
Yep.
Would I be naive to think that Bob Myers could be running the Sixers and Daryl Morey may be finishing his run as 76ers president?
I don't know about running it completely. I think, certainly when Bob left Golden State and then he joined us at ESPN for those 3 years, it was kind of, take a back seat and look at the league in a different way. I think the grind of running it every day it takes its toll on you. So I would say running it, I would say probably more unlikely.
Overseeing it.
I would think having his fingerprints on things would certainly be more sensible here. Because you're right. I mean, I watch the games from home. You guys are there. I see him sitting next to their bench, and I see him more visible. And I saw him out when I was out in LA back in February when the Sixers were out there and everything. So I do think he has, probably more of a sense of understanding of what this roster is right now than it was a year ago when he was doing more things for the Commanders.
Would you agree that Daryl Morey's job is tenuous at best right now?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think, listen, they did really well in the draft. I will give them really, VJ's been really good.
Yeah.
They are, they're not where they were last year, and certainly injuries have played a role. But I'm looking at the 10 teams that are going to make the playoffs or play in. They're the only team that has a negative net rating out of the 10. So the ability to, they've been in a lot of clutch games here. I think the playoffs will play a big role. I mean, you guys were talking about earlier. Listen, I think the Sixers team can lose in the play-in, and I think they can get pretty far in the playoffs. That's how wide of a range I think this is. So I think, listen, as I said, you're going to get through this season, and you're going to evaluate what Daryl's done. You're going to evaluate what Nick has done. And then you're going to figure out kind of what the long-term plan is here. And I think you have to have, I think if you're going to make a decision like that of that magnitude, you've got to have something in. You can't go through kind of like Chicago's going to go through this, where they let go of their front office and now they're going to hire a headhunter and they're going to go through a process. You got to know what you want, right? If you're going to do that, you got to know who you want as far as in your front office and the people surrounding that person.
From ESPN, we got Bobby Marks joining us here with Middays with Marks. Let's talk a little bit about the team right now. Two pieces that I know aren't going anywhere are Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. Bobby, if I'm a diehard Sixer fan and I just want something new. I know how great Joel Embiid is. Build him a statue, retire his number when it's all said and done. Paul George, I think, is a contract that you can move, especially with the way he's played. But I love VJ Edgecombe and I love Maxey. Am I naive to think that that's the future? Just build around those guys. See what you can get. Let's just start fresh, all things next year, regardless of what takes place this playoffs, Bobby. I'm not going to sit here and trying to sell you that this team is going to go on a run, and I don't know any 76er fan that would. If they win one series, who cares? It's time for something new.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a good point, and I do think it's almost like what we saw probably recently before all these injuries in Los Angeles with LeBron. Right? LeBron's the third guy in Los Angeles. If you're in Philly, Embiid should be your third guy. I don't know if he wants to hear that. He should be, right? Because you have the two speed guards. Young speed guards win. You see what San Antonio, I know they have Victor, and that's a big something. But with Fox and Harper and Castle, the speed guards are the way that kind of build rosters, and then you can kind of, especially when you have VJ and such a good contract, and of course Tyrese is still in that rookie contract. But yeah, I would think if I was there, those would be the two guys that I would want to build around, because the tease of Embiid is always going to be there, right? You're going to wake up, he could play 60 games for you, and you're going to get a week from the playoffs, and you might wake up and he's going to be out, or he's going to be out an extended period of time. So I do think if he's willing to accept being the third guy, I don't know if he is. I mean, that's a question for him, and maybe he says that he's not the third guy here, but I do think those are the two young guys are the build around moving forward.
Bobby, being what's been reported with Embiid, and we know this past time it seemed like the Sixers were upset that he didn't make the team activity, and they benched him at that point for the night. He was obviously not happy with it. How difficult is it to win when you have your star player that isn't necessarily buying into the vision of the team? And now you have a bunch of younger players on the team with VJ and Maxi now is kind of becoming the young leader. But, like, to me, they're never going to win with that type of behavior. And this has been something that we've seen with Joel Embiid before. And I know stars tend to do these kind of things. But how difficult is it to win from a front office standpoint when you have a guy like Embiid that doesn't seem totally bought in?
I think it's extremely difficult. I mean, it's extremely difficult with any team. I think when you don't have your 10 or 11 guys that have bought in, and you could say that from off the court, and then when it translates on the court, I just look at like end of games, right? Like if you don't have a roster that's bought in, you're dealing with adversity factor, and we'll see it on the road. You know, you go on a road, you're up 10, and all of a sudden that lead becomes 3, and then all of a sudden that thing splinters a little bit, like, you know, the Detroit game last Saturday, right? Like, you know, here's a Detroit team that you probably could face in round 1 and comes in and kind of knocks your doors off without Cunningham, right? So that's like, and I've lived it in Brooklyn. I always say what looks good on paper is not always the case if you don't have buy-in. Like, you know, we didn't have buy-in from certain players here, and then you start to splinter a little bit here. And I think, fortunately, where they are in the standings compared to where they are, yeah, that's a good thing. But do you want to be the play-in team every year, right? Like, is that what you're going to want to be here? And as I said, the range of, like, if they went into New York or Boston and won a round, I wouldn't be stunned at all here. But I wouldn't be stunned either if you said they lose to Orlando in the 9-10 game there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the buy-in part is huge as far as with this group.
We're talking to Bobby Marks from ESPN, former NBA executive, and you kind of got into it right there if you wouldn't be surprised. It's the great caveat with this team. Well, when they're all healthy, when everyone's out there on the floor, it looks really good. But what should be the realistic expectation of a Sixers fan going into this postseason? Where do you believe they end up in terms of the seeding? I'll ask seeding. I don't need you to give me the where they go in the playoffs, but the seeding, where you think they end up and what they can do.
You know, it's funny. Like, I always say, like, don't screw around with the playoff gods. Just because we did it in Brooklyn that one year. We screwed around and we wanted to play Toronto in 14. We were the 6th seed. I think we could have played Chicago in round 1, but kind of tinkered a little bit with somewhere. I guess it was the anti-tanking, but in a different way, I guess. Right. Where we wanted to play Toronto, who was young, and wound up winning in Game 7, like on a Paul Pierce block shot. So I don't know about who you want to face or seeding wise, if it's Detroit or Boston, or, you know, listen, you would probably say, like, I want to play the Pistons just because, you know who they are, and it's a, you know, kind of a team that, you know, struggles a little bit in the perimeter, but they've been the most consistent team of any this year, and they have an identity, and they'll bloody your nose in a grind out series here. So I don't know if you're a 76ers fan. I think just expect the unexpected. Expected. If it goes far, enjoy the ride, right? Like, that's my always biggest thing. And if it doesn't and it ends next week, listen, then there's going to be some self-reflecting as far as what this roster is going to need to do to kind of take that next step.
This is great. Bobby, thank you so much. This is really good. The pride of Passaic County. My grandfather's from Passaic County. Did you attend Eastside High with Joe Clark as your principal?
I didn't. I went to Passaic Valley.
Oh, okay. No. I didn't. I thought maybe you were in the.
Oh, listen. Back in the day, I'll tell you a real quick funny story. Back in the day when Passaic, Eastside, and Kennedy were really good, and that was when Craig Hayward was at Passaic. Football.
Ironhead. Oh, wow.
And his brother was there too. Like, football back then was big. It still is big time, but that was the league Passaic Valley was in. Yeah.
Bobby, thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Right, there he is, Bobby Marks, my cousin. Bobby Marks.
There it is
on Zoom. Don't you feel more connected to the interview when he's on Zoom? He can see what we look like.
I haven't seen either one, though.
I have it up in front of me.
Okay, yeah,
I pulled up on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a little bit behind, but at least, like, I can see where he is and what he's doing or whatever. No? Ray, do you feel more connected?
I do. It does feel kind of weird for me in terms of talking to them before they're on the air, because they're looking at you guys, hearing the station, and hearing me. I feel like it's kind of sensory overload for them, but I like it.
Inside baseball, I do want to say that when you guys were talking to each other during the interview, and you hit that button. I don't know. I want to make sure our wires aren't disconnected because it kind of stopped. So I don't know if that went through to his connection or not. Something.
Oh, me talking.
Yeah. Look, because you guys were talking about breaks. Boom, 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 real quick. And then, he stopped for a second. So just want to put that.
So if you talk to me, that might be
in his ear.
In his ear. Okay.
How about that?
Good inside baseball.
Hey, look,
Thank you.
I'm here for everybody, right?
Oh, no. Bobby knows that we were going to ask him about the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is he ever going to come back on?
Yeah,
with
I'm like, Ray's like, I'll ask him about, you ask him the actual basketball question. I'm digging for, but I did think a couple things that he said was really interesting, which is, he doesn't, Daryl, you had said it earlier, and it couldn't be more simple and spot on. This is fluid.
Yep.
If they end up a playing team and they lose, I don't know how you run this back. Does that mean Embiid's gone? Man, who the hell knows who's running the team?
Yep.
Right? This is a bigger, what can you get for him? They should be exploring what to do next. But also just the question of, and I've been saying this for years, and I believe in this more than anything. And it is about a buy-in, and it is about when adversity happens, what happens, right? And when you're trying to hold on to a lead in the fourth quarter and now you just falter, it's because guys aren't fully invested and they're not leaning on each other to try to win. And that happens when you don't have complete buy-in. So as much as the guys like Joel Embiid and they know how talented he is and they know to win anything, they're going to need Joel Embiid. I'm just telling you, the fact that Tyrese Maxey called him out at a team meeting that you're late to everything brings you on the inside of everything you need to know. This guy operates under different rules. This guy operates in his own world, and he doesn't see any. He never felt like he did anything wrong. He made excuses after he was called out. He made excuses after missing the team activities up till 6 o'clock in the morning with the worst cold in the history of the world. The only person ever that can't sleep when he has a cold is Joel Embiid.
Sneezing and sneezing and sneezing.
Man, we're talking about the conversation we're having is, can they get in the playoffs and can they win a series?
Yep.
That's not the ultimate conversation. The ultimate conversation is, how many years has it been since the process started?
Yeah,
it's pathetic this is where we are.
I agree with that, and especially after what took place last year. So it's like, all right, now you're going to tell me 2 straight years where it's like, this is what we got, and it is. It's the reality of the situation. Just quickly on what Bobby said, where Joel Embiid should be the number 3 option. He's not right now. I don't know, was he clarifying VJ is 2
or Paul George? Well,
he's
talking about the young guards, the young fast guards.
So, but I just don't see, Joel Embiid has said it, that this is Tyrese Maxey's team, but do you really feel that way?
No.
It's still Joel Embiid.
Not when he plays.
Still Joel Embiid, and not with everything that follows him. Not with this nonsense of whether or not he's playing in the back-to-back.
It has to end. You got to turn the page.
If this was Tyrese Maxey's team, then you're going to do everything you can to be out there to help your guy. And Joel Embiid is not doing that. And it goes back to the thing I asked you yesterday that I've been arguing with everybody, where it's like, no, the team is telling him he can't play back-to-backs. That's fine in October. That's fine in November and December and January. But here we are at the early of April with playoffs or dying and everything just coming to a screeching halt and the offseason begins, and he's not playing.
Who's the reporter from The Athletic that Mornings has on a lot? Tony Jones? Mm-hmm. He said in no uncertain terms that it's Joel Embiid's decision that he doesn't play back-to-backs. And it's well known on the beat. Anybody that I've talked to on the beat says the same thing.
Joel said it.
Joel said at the beginning of the season. So, yeah, it does matter. Sean, unless he physically, the day after playing in a game, he would be detrimental to the team. You have to grind through. I don't know where he is physically. Would I be surprised if he would be that bad the back-to-backs? No.
Does he melt? If he plays in that Detroit Pistons game, does he just melt?
But you know what bad Joel Embiid looks like. He's erratic. He's flopping all over the place. He's not a net positive. He's a net negative. But you lose if you don't have him. So what does it matter?
They're not winning if he's not playing.
No, I believe. No, it's like.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, coming up. We have 5 Russini red flags with Sean Brace.
They were there.
If she's not the most bizarre, I don't even know. The whole thing is bizarre. She's got to be out of her mind.
Just a little bit.
Holy cow.
I think it's fair to say that her husband
Misread the calculations.
just a little bit on her. Just a little bit.
Poor. I feel so bad for the family. All right, that's coming up next. 5 Russini red flags. We have audio. Middays with Marks 97.5.
Oh, but first, fellas, the NHL playoffs are here. That's right. The ice is loud, the hits are heavier, and every shift feels like sudden death. And the last thing you want is coming up empty when it matters most at home. Don't sweat it, though. Blue Chew Gold just got called up to the top line, and it's an absolute difference maker. Blue Chew just leveled up with Blue Chew Gold. They do 4-in-1 upgrade, built for both your mind, your body, and your soul. We're talking confidence, focus, showing up like you're your team's top sniper with the game on the line in the third period. The tablet dissolves quick and can start working in as little as 15 minutes. So no long intermissions, no stuck on the bench, no riding the Zamboni. Nope, just hop over the boards and go. And when it's go time, you're not just taking shots. You're lighting the lamp. We're talking bar down, glove side, red light flashing, the crowd going crazy, playoff hockey magic. Fellas, upgrade your performance today and discover all your options at BlueChew.com. And listen to this while you're there. Listeners, we got 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold. Now, does that interest you? All you got to do is use promo code YES. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information, and bring home the goal with Blue Chew Gold.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Playoff pushes continue. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Sixers and Rockets tonight at 8 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on the Fanatic. Sixers currently 8th in the East, a game back of the 6th seed and getting out of the play-in tournament. There are 3 games remaining on the Sixers regular season, so they're going to play post that, but we don't know whether or not it'll be as a play-in or in the playoffs. Tonight, a big one for them with only 3 left. The game again on the Fanatic. We just had Bobby Marks of ESPN on the Fanatic talk about the future of the 76ers, and is Bob Myers a part of that?
So I would say running it, I would say probably more unlikely, but I would think having his fingerprints on things would certainly be more sensible here.
Certainly interesting to see who could be in charge of the 76ers coming up in a couple of months. You can listen to that full interview on our website and the Fanatic app. Flyers Red Wings tonight at 7 o'clock. Flyers third in the Metro. Just 4 games left in the Flyers season. The game you can listen tonight on WMMR. We'll talk to Scott Hartnell coming up at 1 o'clock. And an off day for the Phillies today after going 20 innings without scoring. They lost 5-0 yesterday. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call 24-hour victim helpline 877-MAD-HELP. Visit MAD.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Biggest story in the history of the world. It trumps, no pun intended, Iran or anything else that's going on.
It's up there.
Diana Russini.
It's up there. No doubt about that. Good grief.
But I'm trying to do some digging.
Okay.
Because I don't know this for a fact, and I hate even talking about it, but I have to, because if the husband didn't have a local connection, I wouldn't even worry about it.
All right.
Well, is it possible that there's just I don't even want to say an open relationship, but like we said, I don't know what's going on, the dynamic of somebody's marriage.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know them personally, who knows? Like maybe they both are messing around. I don't know. Maybe they're they're swingers. I don't know.
The issue is, though, John, as you're about to hear, this woman has been out and about on multiple platforms yelling about her home life, her marriage. So it would suggest to me that, the open marriage concept, the question, I don't think that was taking place. No. I think what we have here is somebody that, to be honest with you, probably didn't want to get married. You're going to hear a clip about that too as well. I'm telling you, man. Let me play these for you first.
So hang on, and then we'll do it.
Yep.
I don't. It's so bizarre, and these things are so cringy. They were cringy then. You just didn't pay attention. Now they're like super cringy.
Yeah.
All right, just playing.
Diana Rossini red flag rankings. Yeah. The signs were there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, these clips aren't just from some random podcast with 100 people half listening while they're doing the dishes like John Marks does. Nah, this is top of the mountain. This is ESPN Get Up with Mike Greenberg. We're talking Radio Row at multiple Super Bowls. This is supposed to be where you get big-time analysis, the brightest lights. Hey, Diana, what are your thoughts on the Patriots offense going up against that vaunted Seahawks defense? My thoughts? My husband stinks, and I can't believe I have to go home to him. Yeesh. Not breaking down coverages. She's just airing out marriage mid-hit like it's couples therapy on live TV and radio. So with that, let's get to it. Number 5. How about this? She talked about when she was engaged in the day before she was just about to walk down the aisle, Jimmy G, and how she was supposed to be marrying him instead of her husband. Listen to this.
I remember thinking because I think when men propose, that's their wedding day. That's when you guys are all in. It's not really all in for us yet. I think for women, the actual wedding day is the moment. So, Kev was all down for it. I was the one that was very skeptical. I was like, I don't know. And
hold on, pause it real fast. So, this is on Get Up?
This is from,
regardless.
Yeah.
She's saying that she didn't really know she wanted to marry him.
Correct.
This is from Levitard. Okay, Levitard. So this is a huge national platform. She's
correct.
Saying, I wasn't sure if I wanted to marry him. Go ahead.
ESPN, and I remember I was still working. And so the night before my wedding, I'm making calls, and I had a phone interview set up with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I remember Jimmy was great. He made a funny joke hey, it's night before your wedding. You sure you want to do this? And I'm thinking
you dog.
Of all the people in my life that I'm going to talk to the night before my wedding, the one guy my dad wanted me to, or my mom wanted me to marry was Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's calling me. This is a sign. I of course did not marry Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if he would have been in New York, you probably would have went over there, Diana.
Yeah.
The fact that he was on the West Coast, you didn't have enough time to do the interview in person. But,
Jimmy G, you dog.
Jesus, man.
That's just number 5. We're just getting warmed up.
All right.
Number 4, she made her come up in D.C., so she pops on with B. Mitchell, former Eagle great, and a dude by the name of J.P. Finley.
His longtime partner down there on the
All right. Listens to how she wants to be introed. Play it.
For us to talk through the situation. Diana, what's up? How are you?
What's up, guys? I told your producer that I want to be introduced now. I don't want to be insider. I don't want to be Scoop City podcast host. I just want to be MILF. Just straight up MILF. That's what I'm going for.
What the hell? that is such a...
I'm just trying. I am trying out here. It is hard in the streets, guys, to keep up. But
if you start calling yourself MILF, you're going to get a lot of followers.
I'm so not a MILF. Look, I used to be
Sell
I
yourself
never
short.
want to be
No,
it now.
She actually
oh my
is.
God, let's just
Yes,
do
she
it.
is.
Forget it.
She's a little tiny thing, too.
Which, by the way, we've never said anything with that.
No.
I'm not.
She's good looking.
She's a good-looking woman, without a doubt. But like, we've never called her a MILF or anything like that.
Well, apparently she wants
but that's what I'm saying. And for her to say it, it's just inappropriate. It's unnecessary.
Yep.
Call yourself a MILF.
Little forced.
The lead NFL writer for the New York Times and The Athletic, right there. Congratulations, New York Times.
All right, to this year's Super Bowl Radio Row with Stu Gatz. How about this, where she talks literally about getting divorced?
12 days. I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to eat. My family's going to hate me. My husband's going to threaten divorce. But we've signed up for this. This I didn't sign up. I was not ready. And we're getting divorced at the end of the year.
Right.
Stop. Breaking news.
Don't say that.
It's hard. It's hard. We're going through it.
Sorry, Kev.
So, Diana, so she's trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And in a lot of these cuts, she's trying to be funny.
Uh-huh.
It's not really like, all right, like I get it. She complains about him being an Eagles fan later on.
Yeah.
But then when this stuff happens, it's like, okay, you guys don't have this cute relationship. You're actually like you're actually a monster in what you've done to this poor man. Seriously.
Yeah, and Diana, I don't think you're going to make it to the end of the year. Just my guess. All right, number 2 on the list. Your boys up there in Boston. Again, Radio Row, John. She hops on the show up there, Radio Row.
Scott Zolak and Mark Bertrand.
Thank you very much. And she talks about her wild times in Miami.
No, I did things in Miami I haven't even told my husband because it's just I had that much fun. It was well, not like that, but like I knew he would judge the kind of partying I was doing. I don't know what got into me. I just remember being down there acting like it was my last day on earth.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lead NFL reporter for the New York Times and The Athletic, Diana Russini. Diana, I'm a MILF. I mean, seriously.
It's a little nuts.
I'm not, believe me, I'm not the hoity-toity whatever. Like, come on. She's so unprofessional in so many different ways. Oh, my God.
Yeah, one more, and this is the best one. Save the best for last. Again, like, dude, why kill your husband like this? And especially on ESPN with Mike Greenberg. Get up. Greeny sets her up. Have a listen.
Today, for those of you who weren't watching, Diana Russini said this.
And I think we all do weird things when we're in love, and we overshare and overpost. And look, he's married. He's getting married to a beautiful actress. I'm married to someone average. I don't post a lot about him. If I was married to someone beautiful, I'd overpost too.
Now, this doesn't seem nice.
Jeez.
And again, she's kidding. Because he's better looking than she is. And I find her, and she's attractive.
Yes.
He's a good-looking man, right? I don't know if you've seen pictures, you agree. You're hardly dealing with it. It's not me. You know what I mean? You're hardly dealing with somebody where it's like, no. I think that they're both, for the way they look and the success they've had professionally, they're good for each other, at least on the surface.
Okay.
He's an executive with Shake Shack. He's an attractive guy. He's fit. This isn't me.
See, this is terrible on her part by so much. Like, there's so many levels to it. But as I said, we play this for the most part for allow you, the listener, to make your judgment, right? We say that the saying is give somebody some rope and allow them to do what they hang themselves with it, right? Yep. All right, so you make your judgment on what you just heard. To me, it's clear as day. She didn't want to be married. She didn't want that.
But see, I don't hear that.
I do.
I hear she's joking. She's trying to be funny. It's like she's a stand-up comic, and her whole routine is the husband. Because then she did do we have we're probably out of time.
Yeah, the stand-up comic routine is the husband. You're right.
That's her content. Yeah. So then it was like she did the thing where it's like, well, like, Jesus, they lose a game and you take 2 words to me and everything, and you're mad. That was kind of funny because we can all relate to that. After the Eagles lose a game, go to Wawa the next day for coffee, and you're like, like people are mad or whatever. Here's Russini.
My husband said 2 words to me. He's an Eagles fan. And I'm like, this can't be a thing. Like, I don't want to be the household that is shaped by the result of a football game. Like, A, grow up. B, you're a father. I don't want our children having a culture where mommy and daddy's tone in this house is based on the result of the Philadelphia Eagles. Who cares? So stupid.
Right. You know who cares? Everybody that reads your stupid tweets is who cares. But she said it, but that's her routine.
Mm-hmm.
We need a rim shot. We need to get the drum, Ray, the rim shot for what she tells the husband. Now, those jokes are all over.
Oh, yeah. Point blank. It's just, there's no way she could continue to be with the Athletic. There's just no way. that the credibility is shot, and everybody. These are all on your timeline now. They're everywhere.
I can't imagine she survives, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's already been. They're already acting like they're going to try to do that. Who's going to push back? Seriously, like
people that are at workers for the Athletic, because everybody's taking a hit.
I had somebody from the New York Times start, and he's a Philly guy, but start following me. And I'm like, that's interesting. And he has a lot of followers, over 100,000 followers. I'm like, that's interesting. Huh. And then I thought, like, he's a legitimate, like, reporter for the Times. Do you imagine being a legitimate, like, you're covering Iran in the White House, and you have Diana Russini, who technically is a part of the New York Times, their lead football writer. And Peter King's not dead yet, but I'm sure he's rolling around in his grave. Dr. Z, for Christ's sakes.
Wow, what a pull.
Oh, all right. Coming
the
up.
red flags were there, Johnny.
Coming up, I think I handled the situation correctly, but I want to get your thoughts on it. Also, Jason Kelce at the Masters. Everybody was very happy to see that. No negative comments at all on Jason Kelce at the Masters yesterday. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, Ray, can you sing with me here for a second?
Yeah, sure.
You ready?
Yep.
Rally House. Rally House. Ray is going to be at Rally House Sunday, April 12th. That's this Sunday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So listen, we originally booked this because Rally House is amazing, and if you're looking for Philly stuff, everybody needs a new Eagles thing or whatever, but it's also the Philly Fanatic's 48th birthday, and they're celebrating the very best mascot in the entire sports world. So the broadcast on Sunday, though, now with the Flyers looking like they're making the playoff push here, I don't have a lot of Flyers gear. I'm going to come out to Ray's broadcast 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sunday, 965 Baltimore Pike in Glen Mills. That's the Britton Lake location. Ray will be broadcasting live, and check it out. You come out. They have 4 $100 gift cards to Rally House at the live broadcast. So get your stuff, get your Philly stuff, get your Flyers stuff, and then say hi to Ray. And all the ladies, all the older ladies, Ray will be there taking applications. All right? 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. this Sunday prior to the Phillies game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Check it out again. It's the Britton Lakes location, 965 Baltimore Pike in Glen Mills this Sunday, April 12th from 10 to 1.
The Phillies offense had
Weird. This never ever happens to me. I'm the guy that loses money, not the guy that finds money. I've probably lost $1,000 in the last couple of years just with any time I have cash. I'll be like, hold on, I had a 50 in my pocket. Like, not anymore.
Walk around with 50s in your pocket?
Oh, I'm a big deal, man. I'm rich.
Congratulations on your success.
Yeah, I don't know.
Johnny
I don't know
Marks.
why, but I do remember. I think I just brought a bunch of cash to the shore, and then
That makes more sense.
Yeah, and like I'd go to the bank, and it's like, well, do you want? I'm like, no, give me hundreds. I don't want all 20s. And then I lost maybe $200 on the $500. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe $1.50. Anyway, so I'm walking in the other day. I told you this, right? I told you I found money.
Mm-hmm.
So there was money in the ground, kind of in the gardens after you pass all the cars. And at first I was like, is it real? Before I touched it. And it looks real. And it's like, is there dog poop on it? Is someone playing a joke? Is Casey Boy hiding in a bush and they're videoing me pick up a $5 bill with poop on it? So it was real. So I kind of messed around with it. I picked it up. I'm like, wow. And it was a 5, a 10, and I think $2. So it was $17. That's $17, man. It might only buy you lunch, but it's still $17. So you don't do anything with that, right? Like, what am I supposed to do? I put it in my pocket. All right. Last night I go to CVS, and I walk in, and right by the cash register, in between the cash register and where the self-service checkout is, there's money on the ground. This is clearly money. I'm not worried about this being a prank. And so I reach down and I grab it. It was $65. It was 2 20s, 3 20s, and a 5. And it was crumpled up in my pocket. Do I actually have some of the money in my? It was crumpled up to where it didn't look like it was going to be a lot. And then you grab it, it's like, this is pretty thick, and it was $65. So what do you do? And so I look around. There's not somebody obvious that it would be. It's at the register. Who knows how long ago this happened? So I feel bad. That's a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
So so here's what I did. I said to because there's no cashier up front because they just want you to use the self-service thing. So I hit the button, and then, this person comes walking down. I'm like, hey, listen, found some money on the ground. I'm going to give you my phone number. If someone comes in and says, hey, I think I dropped money, can you give them my phone number, and then they can contact me and I'll return it? I'm not going to give them the money and say, hey, I found money on the ground. Here it is. Because if somebody's keeping the money, it's me. It's not the person that works at CVS.
That's correct.
Is that fair?
Yes.
No one contacted me.
Hey, man, cash is cash, bro.
Ray?
Cash on the ground, it's yours.
It's a very interesting strategy by you, because I would have just left it there and been like, yeah, if someone comes for it. But you're right, because it's just going to end up with
somebody else is going to find it and put it in their pocket.
Wait, you would have left what there?
Like the idea of leaving it with the CVS worker being like, hey, if someone comes looking for this money, here's the money. But you're so right. The worker's just going to take it.
Right.
I don't trust people to that extent.
And I'm not going to leave it on the ground. Plus, if nobody calls or comes in and says, hey, I lost money, what are they doing with that money?
Right.
They're keeping it.
They're keeping it.
So if anybody's keeping the money except for the owner, it's going to be me.
Man,
Right.
I'll tell you what. God bless both you guys.
I'd probably just pick it.
You would have just put it in your pocket.
Come on, man.
No, which is fine. I
see ya. Money on the ground. Yeah, I'll look.
$65.
I'll look around if there's nobody at the register in front. Yeah, look, I won't lie to you. I walk around casinos. I look down. I don't look up. I'm looking down, bro.
Real quick, was
it
the
cash?
Collegeville CVS?
It was not.
Ah.
It's across from Brook Elementary.
Okay.
Hit up John if you
Roseford.
were there yesterday.
Yeah, it was not in. No, it was not in. It's not the Collegeville location on
Hoping he was gonna
55
say
Park
yes.
Avenue. No, it wasn't.
Going to tell him that was mine.
Right.
Oh yeah,
visiting my parents.
I'll do circles around whatever casino I'm in. Like we were at Parks.
Right.
I'll do a lap around the building, just keep my eyes on the ground.
Do you have a metal detector at the beach too?
No, I don't do that. But when you know that there's some places that could potentially have some money, yeah, I'm looking, man.
What do you mean you're looking on? You walk around the casino looking for money?
Vegas, just a couple years ago for the Super Bowl, walking. We were down on Fremont Street. My guy Jansen. We just touched down. First place we go to. I go, bro, there's a wad of money underneath that blackjack table right there. I don't give a damn.
And there was?
Yeah.
How much?
It was like $400.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
All right, so maybe I'm because do you remember my blackjack story? You were there.
No, I don't.
Well,
remember.
not blackjack. It was because we were in Vegas
right.
when I got engaged.
Okay.
Sean was there when I got engaged in the ice bar in Vegas on 4th of July.
I remember all that, but what happened with money?
So, do you remember the fight that we were out there for?
Yes.
It was Silva against the dude that beat him. It was an upset. What's his name? Chris Weidman.
There you go. Good pull.
So I heard an interview on the Jim Rome show where I'm like, Weidman's going to beat this guy. Like for whatever reason, I was like, wow, he's going to beat him.
All right.
And he was a decent underdog. Wasn't huge. He was an underdog. Big underdog.
Yeah, it was a big underdog.
So I put $100 on him to win. And I go and I place the bet and I walk back. I was with my brother-in-law because I think he was living in California at the time. And so we sit down and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I lost the betting stub. So we Google it and it says like you can go and you can cancel it. And then if you win, they would send you the money or whatever. Yeah. I knew the window that I went to. I knew the time because I texted somebody right after I did it. So it was going to be fairly easy to be like, I was at this window at this time and I bet this and whatever. So Pete says to me, like, dude, the fight's about to start. He's probably not going to win anyway. You're going to walk all the way back down to the sports book and have to deal with that. You're going to miss the fight. So I'm like, all right, you're right. So he wins, and now, like, I'm rushing down. I don't think anybody picks up the betting slip. So I'm, like, rushing down. The manager of the book's like, hey, it's a huge rush. The fight just ended. Everybody's trying to cash in. Give me, like, 15 minutes, and I'll take care of it for you. So I gave him 15 minutes, which turned into a half hour, and he came up to me. He's like, all right, I was at window this. It was at this time. He went back and he looked. He's like, here you go. I see you coming up. Blah, blah. Let me check the ticket. Cashed.
No. Oh. Wow. Plus 165 he was.
Okay.
Looking right now.
All right. So that's not a huge underdog.
July 6th, 2013.
I bet more than $100 because it was definitely $1,000 that I forget what, but it was, I remember it's like $1,000. I was so sick. And I'm not somebody that does a lot of shots. I was drinking to get sick. And I did in the back of a limo in a Solo cup. I was throwing up in a Solo cup.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Remember, like in Vegas, you'll just have these Crocodile Dundee limos driving around that you can get in the back of.
Oh, yeah.
And I was in the back of a Crocodile Dundee limo throwing up in a Solo cup, and the guy was freaking out.
Good times.
Sounds great.
Good time.
I missed the glory days.
Dude. And it was like, and now it's like, I was so pissed that I lost it because I was so right on the bet. And I'd hit on blackjack when the first day I was there, and it was like, this is the best trip. I got engaged, the best trip ever.
Remember Anderson Silva was like messing with them, and he caught him?
Yep. Yeah, Anderson Silva thought he was just going to walk in and win.
And Chris Weidman came out with Tom Petty.
I don't remember any of that.
I won't back down. I got goosebumps just thinking about
that. That was awesome. That was at the MGM.
Dude, that was back when UFC was good. It's terrible.
We had good seats.
That was unbelievable.
Oh, man.
When they put us out there, they flew us out there. Dave Scholler.
Yeah,
flew us out there.
Yeah, one of the executives with the Sixers was he was Dana White's right-hand man. Mm-hmm. And so it was we were, I mean, whatever company that decided, we were going to all of them. We were out in Vegas a couple times.
It was like a pay-per-view / HBO deal.
Yeah, we were going every other month.
How did I miss the Vegas run?
It was right at the start of UFC becoming really popular, right?
Who was the boxing announcer that I sat down with that was like, who is this?
Bruce Buffer?
No, the real hoity.
Oh, Jim, yeah. No, hold on. No, not Jim Nance. Not Jim Nance. What's his name? The guy that used to be the lead guy. He's the Jim Nance type of boxing. Really, really good.
Oh, my God. Why am I drawing his blank in his
Because you don't see him do anything anymore.
He was like, what am I sitting
Yeah,
down?
it's like Bob Costas being interviewed by Sean. It's pretty much what it was.
Lampley?
Jim Lampley, yes. Why Warner Sports being interviewed by Sean?
I had one question and he was just like already looking at me like cross-eyed, like, what am I doing here?
And I wasn't there for that, right?
No, I went solo on that one. Yeah. That was a little bit on the next year. I started doing boxing. We went up to Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
I bet against the Puerto Rican fighter on Puerto Rican Day weekend. That was
in New York City.
That was not smart.
He wasn't losing.
That was a bad bet, Miguel Cotto.
It was. He won. Coming up, News at Noon. We didn't even talk about Jason Kelsey. But News at Noon featuring Anthony Davis, Kirk Cousins, and Rob Manfred. That's coming up next. Middays of Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Big night. I'm Brains up for this Fanatic Sports Update. The 76ers tonight in Houston to take on the Rockets. An 8 o'clock start for that game. The Sixers currently 8th in the East. They are one game back of the 6th seed. That 6th seed, of course, the final spot not to be playing in the play-in tournament. 3 games left in the Sixers season. You can listen to the game tonight right here on The Fanatic. We had Bobby Marks of ESPN on earlier, talked about the big picture with the 76ers, including what Bob Myers' role could be going forward.
So I would say running it, I would say probably more unlikely, but I would think having his fingerprints on things would certainly be more sensible here.
You can listen to the whole conversation with Bobby Marks on our website or the Fanatic app. Flyers Red Wings tonight at 7 o'clock. Flyers third in the Metro. Red Wings are 3 points out of a wild card spot. 4 games left in the Flyers season. A big stretch for them to try and lock up that playoff spot. The game is on WMMR. Scott Hartnell joins us at 1 o'clock. And the Phillies have a day off today. They lost 5-0 to the Giants yesterday. They've gone 20 innings without scoring a run. This update is brought to you by Positive Coaching Lines. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Lines can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, develops better athletes and better people through sports. Info, positivecoach.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
With $1,000 coming up here in just 1 second. Also, Sean, how about this?
What?
Man, we deliver. This show delivers. This station delivers. Coming up at 12:30. How about some Flyers tickets? Now, you got to earn them. You know us. We're not just doing some fifth caller on the contest line or text this. No. Pair of Flyers, Hurricanes tickets. The final game of the season. This legitimately could be to get the Flyers in the playoffs. We have them for you coming up at 12. Sorry, second to last game of the season. What's the last game of the season? Montreal?
That'd be Montreal.
Okay. Well, anyway, this could clinch a spot. So we're going to play Flyers Knockout Trivia. That's where we line 6 people up on the phone lines, and we go to the first caller, ask them a question. They get it wrong, they're out. They get it correct. We put them on hold. We move to the next one. All the way down to the last person standing will win the tickets. Negative Nate has come up with the questions. Flyers playoff trivia. Hopefully there's enough questions here, but they look pretty difficult.
When are we doing this?
12:30.
Nice.
So your chance to win Flyers tickets coming up at 12:30. But let's give you a chance to win $1,000 right now, Ray.
It's time for Fanatic Parlay Cash.
All right. Your chance to win $1,000. The contest keyword, Victor. 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 You have 25 minutes after the hour to enter it on the Fanatic app, or go to 975thefanatic.com, or text it to the special contest short code 45911. Victor is the word. One random entry wins $1,000 in this company-wide contest. Winners get a call from Beasley, so make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules, 975thefanatic.com. Fanatic Parlay Cash stood up by Iron Mountain Men's Health. 5 chances to win each weekday, 8 a.m., 10 a.m. with us, noon with us, 3 and 5. Once again, Victor, 45911. Enter it on the Fanatic app, or go to 975thefanatic.com. Hooah! Next time to win, 3 p.m. today. All right, stop texting. You cannot win, Sean. You have a burner phone. He's a burner phone over here trying to text.
Got the burner.
Hi, my name's Larry. Did I win?
I want in.
Can I also remind our audience that it's a short code of 45911, and it is not the regular 610-632-0975. Please stop hitting the text line every 2 hours with the flood of Victor, Bill. It's the short code.
Yes.
You text our text line, you are just simply bothering me.
Well, as long as I say it, to hell with them. Thank you for trying to help them out.
I'm trying to help them out.
But I can only say it twice.
And let's be real here. I'm not helping them out. I'm helping me out. Because sifting through the text, I don't want to be,
gotcha.
It's like, let's get to the good text, not the I didn't listen to the instructions text and I want $1,000.
Right. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
When we do when you do something on the contest line, they'll call the regular line. We don't really do the contest line all that much.
No, not much.
All right, 12 o'clock hour brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months. Rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more, ServiceFirstHVAC.com. News at noon. It doesn't matter what comes in the world of sports. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. Bad Athlete Podcast, angry college coaches, innocuous and random topics. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. The news at noon with Ray Dunn.
With Ray Dunn.
All right, we're going to go Bad Athlete Podcast into innocuous topics. That is the plan for today. And I know, John, we were talking yesterday. You've just been so busy. You haven't been able to binge Draymond Green's podcast. And I want to make sure that we get this for you. And instead of making fun of Draymond, we're actually going to go with a little bit of something interesting that came on this podcast. Anthony Davis, he's not busy right now. You know, his season's over. He's just chilling. He's got time to talk with Draymond Green about what's going on in his world. He recounted the night that he got traded for Luka from his side of everything. Hilariously, one of the first people to reach out to him, Joel Embiid. Because if you remember, Embiid had the all-caps tweet. He was shocked. He was up at that time of night. I guess not surprising. You know, tends to stay up a little bit later.
I know that cold.
Yeah. Maybe he was sick back then, too. But he also just talked about the state of disbelief and not believing that he had actually been traded to the Mavericks and didn't know, hey, who would they have traded back to get back for me?
Rich said he tried to call me. I never got Rich's call. So Rich didn't call my wife. He was like, tell AD to call me, whatever. So I'm like, what up, Rich? He's like, man, they just traded you to Dallas. And I'm like, oh, shut up. I said, who the f*** they gonna trade me for? Luka? Like I was just saying, like, who else can you trade me for on that team?
As it turns out, he was traded for Luka.
Wow.
And he goes through it. I think it's about 2 minutes entirely of like his process of that night. But he was basically sitting in bed, just hanging out, turned off the phone, went back to the phone, and was like, oh, something had to have happened. And he went to Sham's Twitter to be like, this isn't real.
This can't be true.
He thought they were pranking him because he does that show for TBS, whatever. It's the Impractical
Prank Anchors?
It's close. It's pretty close to that.
Whatever it is, he thought that he was being pranked by his staff. He legitimately did not believe it was a real trade.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's got that show on True TV now where it's like Impractical Joker style.
Right.
Not reality, actuality?
No, but he had, his Rolodex is long, it's big, and so he had Draymond. And it looked like Draymond was duped, but the guy that was out, come on, man, the guy that was across from Draymond was a little ridiculously looking. So I don't know how Draymond could buy into it, but Draymond literally threatened him. He goes, bro, I'm about to beat your you-know-what.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was another one they did with Dave Roberts, and I think it was Mookie Betts. It was like Mookie Betts got hurt at like a charity event, and like they tried to get Dave Roberts or something. I've seen it. It's come across the television a few times.
Who were they?
They were trying to get, I think,
not Dave Roberts. Who was the player?
Mookie Betts.
Mookie. He said Mookie.
Mookie.
Sorry.
Yeah, like Cookie. Yeah, Mookie Betts. You're right.
All right.
I think you know who Mookie Betts.
Yeah, I know.
Mookie.
Mookie. Yeah, like a Wookie. Like,
Yeah. So you guys have seen this, or you just seen the clips?
Clips.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the clips. I guess it's not my algorithm.
March Madness.
Oh, gotcha.
But that's probably it too. Like,
By the way, back to Embiid and seeing the tweet late. I mean, I get it as a teenager. You're in your early 20s and you keep late hours because maybe you're working at a bar or like you keep late hours.
Damn right.
How old's Embiid? 31. Can he not go to bed like a regular person?
And
you have to be up till 6 o'clock in the morning.
And he's a dad too.
Yeah, well, something tells me he doesn't have Lane in the recliner at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, maybe he does. Maybe that's why he's awake.
Hey, neither do I, in fairness. My wife.
You know?
So, twice a week.
Okay. Was he still eating in the middle of the night too?
Oh no, he's up. I have the monitor until I go to bed, probably about 12:30.
Okay.
Then I take the monitor upstairs. When he gets up in the middle of the night,
plug it in.
Most of the time, the wife is getting up.
Okay.
So it's like 4 o'clock. She'll get that one, and then I go work out at 5. So it's definitely unfair, but at the same time.
No.
Why don't you get him at 4 since you're going to work out at 5? And by the way, good on you for going to work out. I'm glad that it's good. It's better for your health, and it's important that you do it.
And if I don't do it at 5, I'm never going to do it when I get home, all that.
Way too hard to do it that
So
way.
I just do it.
I've tried. All right, Ray.
All right, we're going to go to
innocuous sports topic?
Yeah. People upset with Kirk Cousins for literally no reason. I think it was Good Morning Football he hopped on after he signs with the Raiders, and he's talking about the elephant in the room. Hey, you signed this contract, they're going to draft a quarterback. Everyone's accepted that as a reality. Here he is talking about it, and I'll tell you why people are mad.
Yeah, I don't want to start unless I'm the best option. So, and I told, Clint that best players should play. Certainly, as long as that's the case, I have no qualms with however it plays out. But I do think Fernando is going to be a great addition to our team. I think he's going to have a great future in the league. I have no problem, being a voice in the room to kind of help him. To the degree that I can, he's going to have great support all around him from the coaching staff. But to the degree that, being able to watch a veteran quarterback, go through his habits and routines and process, I think, that can be a great asset for him. And he was here yesterday on his draft day visit. We were able to watch film together. So, I think he'll be a great addition to the room. And
yeah, it's a total loser mentality. That's why people are mad. He's more or less waving the white flag coming in and saying like, oh yeah, well, if I'm not the best quarterback and I'm going to be here he's support staff making almost starting quarterback money.
And you can be mad, I guess, at that extent. People were upset that he tipped off the Raiders pick as if we haven't all known this Mendoza thing.
I didn't even people are mad because he said Mendoza.
Right. He's like, oh yeah, he's going to be a great addition to the room. Oh no, we now know who the first overall picks. Was there any sort of suspense for the first overall pick?
Maybe I could see Goodell saying, well, why would you say that? Like I said, everybody knows.
Right.
Everybody knows. No, I think it's a loser mentality.
That's fine.
Even though that is his job when he's coming in, I'm not answering the question like that. Like unless you're coming in as a backup or he's coming in and being like, this is, like whether he's ready to play or not, I don't know, but I'm there for him. I'm there for the team, whether to play or not. How about you're going in to try to win football games and be a really good quarterback? I don't know. He's not 45 years old.
Guaranteed money's guaranteed money, man.
Dude, he's made so much money.
Oh, God, yeah.
He's
his agent's Hall of Fame agent.
Oh, for sure.
He's had guaranteed money. Was it the last 8 seasons? All his money's been guaranteed. Something like that. Wow. In a league without guaranteed contracts, he's the guy that has every cent guaranteed for 8 straight years. It's almost impossible.
We're talking about a contract year for Jalen Hurts. Kirk Cousins out here.
Seriously, you look at it from that perspective, doesn't get criticized. People don't care. He just makes tens of millions of dollars. Jalen Hurts is Super Bowl MVP. He's got every analyst that's debating whether he's good or not. Locally, we're benching him and trading him and getting rid of him. It's unbelievable.
All right, last one for you here. Rob Manfred on with Dan Patrick.
I heard this.
Was led into the question of, all right, every 2 years for the World Baseball Classic?
I think that the event was so successful this time that we need to talk about frequency, regularity of schedule. You know, we haven't even, I mean, it's one thing to not do it every year. Our problem, because of COVID and labor negotiations, whatever, it's not even, you can't even say it's every 4 years,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
It hasn't been.
Yeah.
And, you know, we do need to get into, given how popular it is, we need to get into a regular rotation.
Now, forget that it was every 3 with the last 2 ones in 2023 and 2026. He said every 4. But every 2 years, I enjoyed the event. I don't need it every other year.
No, it waters it down.
It loses the novelty of it. And also, again, I enjoyed it. Am I worried about what it might do to the players through the rest of the season? Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of risk. It is. Yep. They should try to do it at the All-Star break, if anything. I don't know. Like that year, did they skip the NHL All-Star break to do something different?
Yeah,
4 Nations thing?
They did.
Hey, do
For
that
the
every 3
Olympics.
years. All right.
Yeah.
Like they can do it. If they want to do an All-Star game surrounding it, and the players that make the World Baseball Classic, they don't play in the All-Star game, I don't care. There's a lot of good players in baseball. You could easily do that.
Yeah, look, it's got some pluses. I just don't want to get too carried away because we're talking about big-time players that are suiting up. And also, it lost a little bit of its magic to me with the fact that you have these stipulations being put on, of course, D-Row, my guy. You know, you can't use Mason Miller. Like, come on. I don't know. It's obviously more important to other countries. Us here, it's really not that important. It just isn't. You could go, wear the USA
No, agreed.
concert chest. It's cool. Okay, well, we can't use our best players.
We'll do it every 4 years, like the Olympics. But then you have the Olympics.
Yeah.
So it would have to be 2 years apart from the Olympics. Yeah, to what you're saying,
Tony Romo stuff.
I really don't care enough about it. It was cool this year. It ended up exceeding. Didn't it exceed your expectations, even though they lost?
It was cool the last time it came around, too, for me.
A lot of it was because of the dummy manager and
it's my guy.
Them getting drunk and not being ready for the game.
Hey, a lot of guys are dragging.
There's some guys dragging.
Thanks, D-Row. Yeah, he's
Misread
back.
the calculations.
He's back on television.
He is good on TV. I've watched him a couple times.
He's great on TV.
Stick to the TV.
Can we get him on the show, please? Could we please get him?
The
on?
problem is, I feel like we would be wimps if we didn't at least bust his balls a little bit about it.
But
right?
he's a former baseball player. I think he could take it.
Misread the calculations.
We couldn't play the drops.
I
He
love
sounds stupid.
D-Row. I love D-Row.
All
He's
right,
so
let's
good.
figure out how we can.
We'll send messages out. We'll effort this one.
All right.
I would, if I were him, I would not do local radio for a year.
Probably in your best interest.
Well, it depends on the show.
Yeah, I mean, we would have some fun.
If you're gonna go on the show, that's like, well, let's talk a little bit about baseball. We have Mike DeRosa, blah, 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 and you're
That's
breaking
fair.
down the lineup or whatever. They won't bust his balls. I feel like on a morning show or a show like this, I don't even want to ask him to put him in a tough spot. But I feel like if we,
That's my point. But we would have some fun with them.
but we got a lot of mileage out of it.
Yeah.
It would be disingenuous not to at least bring it up.
I agree, but he breaks it down better than most on TV when it comes to the game, the players. He knows the league very well. There's a lot to like about him. Unfortunately, he did struggle at times.
I thought you were going to play the Manfred cut from Dan Patrick where he talks about the possible labor issues.
No. I've accepted next year's not happening.
Which was,
great.
To your point, they're not going to, I don't know when they start the season. There's going to be a lockout 100%. And that's not necessarily,
woohoo.
Like all a lockout means is that like they're going to be negotiating things like that. I'd be shocked if they started the season on time next year. But his words, and I forget exactly what he said, I heard him this morning, is like, yo, dude, like you got to at least, even if you don't believe what you're saying, you got to at least say like, hey, like it's my job as commissioner and the 30 owners of the teams and the players, we got to get together and we got to figure this out. But he's not doing that because he knows that's not going to happen.
Right. He's accepted that this time next year he will be in a room negotiating and not watching baseball.
And not agreeing to anything and this being played out in the media. And like, here's what I don't want to do. You can make the show sheet up right now if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yell and scream about how baseball doesn't get it and they always do this. And this is they have forward momentum and they have every opportunity to really reestablish themselves. And they've done a great job doing it. And then they totally screw up what they're doing with this stuff. I got to put it on the players as well. This just isn't owners and Manfred and everything else, there's a real problem in baseball with the balance of power. And I'm not going to blame the Dodgers because the system that they have, they're able to defer contracts and things like that. Yeah, they spend more money than everybody else, but like the biggest problem with baseball is there's too many teams that don't try. And there's too many teams that don't have a chance. And that's not like that in football.
And teams that have generational superstars that have decided, you know what, we're good.
Just get rid of them.
Yeah, let's trade him to the Dodgers. Or, yeah, he's going to walk across town to the Dodgers. Or, hey, I think it was Freddie's agent that screwed that one up when it comes to Freeman going to the Dodgers. But,
there's too many have-nots.
Yeah, and that's a massive issue for this. But what I want to find out, because, yeah, we'll bank that show sheet. We're not going to do it, but it's going to be the talk of the town this time next year. What are we doing in place of it? Like, we going down to heyday leagues? Am I calling heyday games next spring?
The California Penal League.
That's what I'm saying. Like next year, because the show is still relatively new, next year I can try to pressure the station and get maybe advertisers to send us down to spring training. You know what I mean?
Amen to that.
Have you been to spring training, Ray?
No.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you've never been to
Ray at spring training?
Man.
Holy cow. Oh. Get me in on that. We may need to go anyway with Phillies sports trips.
You're damn right. Hey, real quick.
Even without spring training.
Yeah, since we brought up the WBC, I asked you yesterday about Christopher Sanchez when he said after that start, quote, not feeling really good. Am I wrong to connect the dots to the WBC? Are we concerned? Kyle Fisher has a great piece over at the Metro, and he put a tweet out early. What's Sanchez got, 3 starts?
3 starts.
All right, early. With that being said, Kyle said, Christopher Sanchez sinker through 3 starts. Average miles per hour last year versus this year, 95 to 94. Exit velocity, 89 to 94. Barrel rate, 13.3 to 21.9 in 2026. And he said, don't know if there is anything there, but definitely worth monitoring here in the early going.
Totally agree. I don't know if is it physical or is it just like, not really feeling good. I don't know. Should we be surprised if there were some physical things going on with anybody that pitched in the World Baseball Classic?
Oh, Lord.
Nobody should be surprised.
Here we go.
You hold your breath and you cross your fingers.
I'm going to go grab the Brad Lidge audio.
Correct. Brad Lidge had his worst season as a pro after he pitched in the World Baseball Classic. When we had him on, that's what he said.
Mm.
Yep.
Didn't Sanchez look great in the opener, though? Looked great. Was that the home?
Yeah.
Wait, no, he had 10 strikeouts in his second start. Or was that his first start?
I thought it was his first.
Was that the
remember,
first?
they were up big, and then Bacchus
He went 6 innings and had 10
started to allow all the runs late. Then they had to call in Duran, and we did the whole, Duran's
right.
entrance doesn't really work in the daytime.
He kind of grinded through that second start.
Yep.
And then the third start. The problem is they were getting a lot of hard contact off him, which you typically don't see.
Yeah, he went 10, 7, 6 as far as strikeouts through the 3 starts.
Oh, boy. I don't know.
Well, if they don't hit, it doesn't matter anyways.
No, you're absolutely right.
They
have 0 runs in the last 2 games.
You got anything on Wheeler? What's the latest with
Wheeler? Did very well last night. Only 1 earned run.
The issue is still the velocity.
Velocity was a little bit better. It didn't go down.
No.
Which is good. But he's not sitting in 96. I think the average fastball was upper 90s, upper 92s.
Yeah, it was almost 93, 92.9, I think it was.
Yeah, 92.9. So, yeah, the teams will say we're not alarmed, and maybe they are a little bit. Like with Aiden Miller, he's still not doing baseball activities, right? With the back.
That's true. Yep.
But with Wheeler, he knows how to pitch. As long as he's healthy, if he needs to sit 93, 94 in his fastball, he'll still be good.
All right.
He doesn't win with velocity anymore. He's just a hell of a good pitcher. Secondary pitches, he's really mastered that part of the game with the Phillies. All right, coming up, and we want you to get on now because as we know previously, as Kevin Indelco has asked, is Negative Nate going to be able to handle the call screening? Because the last time we did a contest, remember the phone lines were broken and Negative Nate couldn't get the guys up fast enough.
And he said, relax.
And he was very unhappy with me complaining on the air in real time. So Negative Nate said he is ready.
I think his hair moved. He was so mad.
He was so mad. 610-632-0975. Ray was on vacation yelling into his app.
I was driving home from the airport. I nearly drove off the highway when you said that he told you to relax. I was like, oh, my God, they're going to fight each other
Typed it up.
610-632-0975. We're going to play Flyers Knockout Trivia. 6 people on the line. You get it right, you stay on. You get it wrong, you're out. Last man standing wins the Flyers tickets. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right. Rally House. Sean likes to sing Rally House. You just do it in the background. Rally House, Rally House. Ray is going to be at Rally House. And he's going to be at Rally House on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Glen Mills location. And I don't know what the hell I did with my with my reading here. I just had it. All right, here it is. All right, Glen Mills, 965 Baltimore Pike. Ray's going to be there this Sunday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. He's not hanging out, just saying hi. He's doing a live broadcast. It's a pretty big deal. All right, 4 $100 Rally House gift cards will be given away during the live broadcast. And they're there to celebrate the Philadelphia Phillies birthday celebration of the Fanatic, the best mascot in the entire world, but also with the Flyers entering playoff territory, and I know I need some new Flyers gear. I'm coming out to get my Flyers gear, and you're doing it at Rally House. I'm telling you, if you've never been to a Rally House, or maybe it's been a little while, they've been doing this forever. I'm talking about they have everything that you're looking for, from T-shirts, to sweatshirts, to jacket. In every sport, all the local teams, the college teams as well. You wouldn't believe it. Even like the Westchesters and the real local colleges, it's all at Rally House. Amazing stuff. And what else do you need than Ray Dunn this Sunday, April 12th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to celebrate the Philly Fanatics' 48th year just prior to the Phillies game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. This Sunday, April 12th, the Brinton Lakes location, 965 Baltimore Pike in Glen Mills, Pennsylvania.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Postseason pushes continue. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. A pair of big games in Philadelphia sports tonight. In Houston tonight, it's the 76ers and the Rockets at 8 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on the Fanatic. Sixers currently 8th in the East. They're a game back of 6th. Of course, that 6th seed, the final team that does not have to participate in the play-in tournament. 3 games left in the 76ers regular season. We had ESPN's Bobby Marks on earlier today talking about the 76ers, some of the future plans, and what he thinks about this team out of the postseason. You can listen to that one more time on our website or the Fanatic app. Flyers, Red Wings tonight at 7 o'clock. The Flyers third in the Metro. The Red Wings 3 points out of a wild card spot. There are 4 games left in the Flyers season. All of them big at this point to lock up that playoff spot. You can listen to the game on WMMR. We'll talk to Scott Hartnell coming up at 1 o'clock. And the Phillies have an off day today. They lost 5-0 to the Giants yesterday. It's been 20 innings since they scored a run. They'll be back at home this weekend. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MAD-HELP, or visit MAD.org. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Brandon Dutz, YouTube producer. Negative Nate Tennyson. Anytime I say Negative Nate, you should go Negative Nate. He came up with these Flyers questions. All right? So don't blame me. If they're wrong, don't blame me. And I don't think they're wrong.
Here we go.
Because he knows his Flyers. So he said back there that any true Flyers fan should get all of these correct.
Interesting.
He said these are elementary. And I said, okay, but so if you're a true Flyers fan.
Come on, dude. The first question out the chute.
It's easy. First question it should be relatively easy. The first one on here. And I'm not going to give multiple choice on all these, at least to start.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think they're that easy, but I don't think that one's that easy. Excuse me.
The other ones are.
I want to know someone that gets question number 1 out the chute. I want to know.
Okay. All right. And I'm not giving multiple choice.
These are for Flyers tickets?
These are for a pair of tickets to the Flyers and Hurricanes next Monday at Xfinity Mobile Arena. You can also head to our contest page, 975thefanatic.com, for another chance to win a pair of tickets. Hoo-ah! How about that? All right. 610-632-0975. So I'll just give like a little insight on the game, right? You can give me some music to start it off. All right? You want to make sure that you're listening. And I know when you're dialing, sometimes it's hard to listen because you may get the same question. So you want to make sure you're not giving the same wrong answer. All right, so listen closely, 610-632-0975. We're going to start with Anthony in Blackwood. I'm going to ask him a question. If he gets it correct, he survives, and I put him on hold. If he gets it wrong, you're out. The last man standing of the 6 callers or woman will win. That's simple. Anthony in Blackwood. Anthony.
Yo.
Who has the most playoff points in franchise history?
Bobby Clark.
That is correct.
Oh, hey, look, man, you got to think. I didn't think that was easy. Nice call. Nice call.
Alex, Bethlehem. Alex.
Yes, sir.
Who did the Flyers beat to win their first Stanley Cup in 1974?
It was either Boston or Buffalo. I'm going to go with Boston. Boston Bruins.
Correct.
Ooh.
Now, is he Googling?
It sounded like maybe, but that was pretty quick. He knew the 2.
He was Googling. Well, no, he did know. It felt like
he
was.
But I think he had to look it up real quick. But that's fine. That's fine.
It's not against the contest rules.
We can sniff you out, though.
Chip in Kennett Square. Chip.
That's not against the contest rules.
Who was the Flyers captain during their 1997 Stanley Cup Finals?
1997.
Flyers captain.
Chris Pronger.
Incorrect. Sorry, Chip. Let's go to Benny. Benny Hanna. Benny in Montgomeryville. Benny.
What's up? How are you?
Good. All right. Who scored the overtime winner in Game 3 of the 2010 Stanley Cup Finals against the Chicago Blackhawks?
Oh, my gosh. Was it, oh, my gosh.
3 seconds.
Remember. I think it was it Travis Konechny?
Travis Konechny in 2010. Incorrect.
What have you been, about 11?
Yeah, I don't remember when he started playing for. I'm assuming it was in 2010. No. All right, let's go to Steve. Steve in Philly. Steve. Steve, are you there?
I'm here.
The Flyers' last home playoff game was what year?
What's that?
The Flyers' last playoff home game was what year?
2008 COVID year.
What year?
2018.
The Flyers' last playoff home game was what year? Correct! 2018.
That wasn't was that? No, that wasn't the COVID year, was it? No, because
that was before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
bad process, good answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because it was it wasn't a COVID year because they didn't play home games. COVID.
Correct. There you go.
All right, Ray. So who do we have left? So it's just Anthony, Alex, and Steve, right?
No, and Robert still.
Right. Robert needs to go. All right. We've had 2 eliminations. All right. Robert and Maple Glen. Robert.
Hey, John. How you doing, bud?
Hey, buddy. How many times have the Flyers been to the Stanley Cup Finals?
Ooh.
I'm going to give you choices. Is it 5 times, 8 times, 10 times, or 4 times?
It's 8 times.
It is 8 times. Correct. Good job, Robert.
Nice pull.
Anthony. So we have 3 left. Anthony, Alex, and Robert. Anthony, back to you. Anthony.
Okay.
What former player earned the nickname Mr. Playoffs? He also is still a member of the Flyers organization, not as a player. The nickname
Danny
Mr. Playoffs. Danny Briere is correct. Do you know that?
I was here doing radio. I don't remember calling him Mr. Playoffs.
No.
But it's a good nickname. I mean, he was with Buffalo. He had success there. Did he earn a nickname because of here? That's interesting. I'd have to do a little digging on that one. Love Danny.
Alex in Bethlehem. Alex.
Yes, sir.
Flyers captain during the 97 Stanley Cup Finals was who?
Eric Lindros.
Correct. There we go. Back to Robert in Maple Glen.
Wow, it was from his time with the Flyers. Jeez. Yeah, he did score a ton. He did do a lot in the playoffs.
Steve in Philly still in?
Steve, yeah, he's the one at 2018.
Steve.
Yep.
All right, ready? Yep. Keith Primo scored the overtime winner in Game 4 of the 2000 Eastern Conference semifinals against the Penguins. How many overtime periods were played in that game?
How many overtimes was it? 6.
Incorrect. Robert, same question to you. How many overtime periods played in that game?
5.
Correct.
5.
All right. Correct. Hang on a second. Robert, back to Anthony. Anthony, who was the starting Flyers? Sorry. The Flyers beat the Rangers in the last game of the season in a shootout to clinch a playoff berth in 2010. Who started that game? Who was the starting goalie at that time?
Michael Leighton?
Incorrect.
Oh, man. That would have been my guess.
Incorrect.
That's a tough one.
2 left. So we go to Alex in Bethlehem. Alex needs to get this correct, or Robert in Maple Glen wins the tickets. Kabish, make sense? All right, Alex, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Who was the Flyers head coach when they won back-to-back Stanley Cups in 74 and 75?
Oh, I can see his face. Is it Fred Shiro? Is that his name?
Fred Shiro can see his face. Sean Brace, as he Googles it, correct.
Bang, bang.
All right, he's still alive.
Fred is?
No, Alex is. Game 6, Robert, Game 6, 2012 Eastern Conference quarterfinals. This player laid out Sidney Crosby, then scored the game's first goal 32 seconds into the first period. Woo! Who was it?
Claude Giroux.
I would have known that one. That's an easy one. All right. We're going through a lot of these here. All right, back to Alex, who's trying to stay alive. Alex, this current Flyer scored a hat trick against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Game 2 of the 2012 Eastern Conference semifinals. Who is it? 3 seconds.
Sorry, what year?
2012.
Braden Shen.
Braden Shen is incorrect. Robert, you win the tickets. Last man standing. Robert in Maple Glen. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I went to school. I went to school with the owner of Maple Glen Pizza, Dave Shiano. Delicious pizza up there in Maple Glen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm an Upper Dublin guy. You're an Upper Moreland guy, so I get it.
You're damn right. All right, Robert. Hang on a second, buddy.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thanks, John.
man.
Appreciate it.
Hang on.
Nice work. Nice work. You're in your element when you're a game show host.
I am.
Nice work. Look,
they tore through these questions, man. I didn't have a lot left.
I pulled up this year's stats. I had 3 ready to go for you.
You did?
Yeah.
Good work by you.
Yeah, I was sensing it. I was like, all right, let's go to this year's numbers, which, oh, by the way.
No, but there was playoff trivia, though.
Oh.
Couldn't have used it.
No. Could not have. Well, come on. That would have been overtime. We're just, all hands on deck.
No, you're right. It's not in the contest rules that we have
That's
to follow.
true. Got to follow them. But you can Google, apparently.
Yeah, as long as you do it quickly.
Gotcha.
Sean Couturier was the player that scored the hat trick.
Still with the organization, too.
Yep.
Still playing a role, too.
All right. Well, listen, coming up at 1 o'clock, Scotty Hartnell.
Yep.
And with some voice memos coming up as well. That's coming up next. Scotty Hartnell talking about the Flyers back in action. They win tonight. Now we're feeling really good about the playoffs. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5. All right, let's talk about your garage floor. Does it have the chips? Does it have the cracks? Does it have the stains in it, right? You know what I'm talking about here. And that's why you deal with Comer and Cross, right? So check them out, comercross.com, COMER cross.com. They can completely transform your garage floor in just one day. Maybe you don't realize how bad it is, and then you think about it, you're like, you know what? It does look bad. Maybe you thought about getting it taken care of, but you can do it right now, and you can have a true showroom finish. It's like pulling into a brand-new garage every night. And right now they're offering 50% off installation, and they make it so easy. They move your stuff out of the garage for you. They repair all the cracks and pits so it looks like new, and then you choose your custom Comer and Cross finish, and it's not paint or epoxy. It's built to last. There's no chipping, no cracking, no tire lift ever. All of that and 50% off installation right now. Don't wait. You can have that showroom floor every single day. Call them at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or comercross.com, COMER cross.com.
The Flyers are red hot and looking to keep.
putting expectations on that game against the Devils and the way that they performed. Look, that was a playoff game. Tonight's a playoff game.
Correct.
The Red Wings are a good squad. It's a good team.
They have a good club.
Oh, yeah. Good club.
They definitely do.
We have a good club.
Did you hear my Blue Chew read?
He'll join us coming up at 1 o'clock. No.
Oh, it was all.
Was I not paying attention?
No, you left the room, but it was all about playoff hockey.
Oh.
Yeah.
So did you suggest they should take Blue Chew tonight to play?
You know, I almost did a video and tagged Vrabel and made a mention there, but I didn't do that. I don't know. Maybe I should have.
You should have.
Yeah, probably.
Next Blue Chew read, incorporate Vrabel into it. Hey, listen, he's older than me. I'd be incorporating.
Yeah, he's 50.
Blue Chew into. Is he?
Yeah, he's 5'0". Yep, she's 43. He's 50.
He's only. I thought he was a little older than that. No, even 50.
5'0".
You know, it's weird because Bobby Marks is 52, and I was going to call him my uncle, and I'm like, hold on, I think I'm like the same age as him. I forget how old I am sometimes. Jeez. And by the way, if you missed the Bobby Marks interview, the former front office executive of the Nets and now does great stuff on ESPN, definitely check it out on YouTube or go back and listen to the podcast. He was really, really good. I gotta make sure I'm following him because I want the follow back.
Yeah.
Is what I want. I deserve a follow back.
My favorite part from my read, if you don't mind, the tablet dissolves. It can start working as little as 15 minutes, so no long intermissions, no stuck on the bench, no riding the Zamboni. Just hop over the boards and go. Thought that was
you got to be careful what you say with the Zamboni. Oh! Bobby Marks only follows 243 people on Twitter. I don't think I'm making that list then.
He's smart.
Yeah, then your timeline. But no, but they give you you don't have a choice with your timeline anyway.
Don't hit the For You button. Try not to. I've been sucked into the For You a lot lately. That's like the murky waters. You never know what you're going to find.
All right.
You know what I mean?
What's Ricky? Ricky's
Ricky
Bo. Your baseball team's not scoring runs, Ricky Bo.
Give him the heater, Ricky.
Coming up at 2 o'clock. Yep, Ricky just gave me a look. I'll be tuned in at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, this is definitely his time.
You know from postgame if you have a poorly managed game, bad defense, the bullpen explodes, or they're not scoring runs. He just gave me the look that I see on postgame.
Oh yeah,
which is an angry Ricky look. I can't wait. 2 o'clock with Bill.
At least he got some sleep last night.
Yeah,
I hope.
That's true.
I think
he doesn't sleep.
But he's not like Joel Embiid that stays up all night. You do? You stay up all night? Ricky's a late night TV viewer.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right.
He's coming up at 2 o'clock.
You can translate. No, go ahead, Ricky. There you go.
I had late games all week. So, I mean, I was getting home probably about 2:15, go to bed at 3, get up about 6:15, 6:30.
Yeah.
That was it.
All right. But
I'll give you back to right now.
All right. You can't hear us anyway.
No.
So. You're saying yesterday because it was the day game was your point.
Well, my brain was melting on Tuesday. I know it melts quite often here, but I was wondering what happened to me. And it was the fact that Phillies game went into 12:30. I didn't fall asleep till 1, worked out in the morning. At noon and that Tuesday show, my brain was
you get 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I was a little out of it.
All right, so do we have a couple voice memos here, Ray? All right, just give us what you got. Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, Mike from Bristol checking in. I got a story on the on that what you guys were kind of talking about. I just want to see what you guys think about this. So when I was about 16, I'm 26 now for perspective. I was in Target. There was a a lunchbox. It was like a Star Wars lunchbox or something like that. Sitting on one of the checkout counters at Target. I found it. I looked inside, a bunch of cash. Obviously, it looks like it's probably something that a kid was maybe saving up or something along those lines. I'm not gonna lie, the thought did at that time. I didn't really have that much money. The thought did cross my mind to take it, but I did a good thing and I gave it to the store. They found the kid. The kid got contacted. They were able to find it through the cameras or whatever. And it was a great thing. The kid got the money back. It was all good. He was 11 years old. But I just want to see, do you guys feel the same way about that type of thing? Would you have turned that in or would you have pocketed that cash there as a 16-year-old?
If I want the person to get the money back is what I want. And if they don't get the money back, I'm keeping it. Which is why I gave the CVS employee my number and said, if somebody comes in and says, "Hey, I dropped money, is it there?" Then I would return it.
You know, they're going to write good things about you when you die. Me, not so much.
Yeah, Sean was at the boathouse.
Screw that kid.
Later, Kelly's like, "Where did Sean go?"
I found $60 at a Target.
I did. I found $65 at CVS last night.
CVS, excuse me.
And I found money earlier this week too outside the. It's weird.
Wow.
Is it a sign? Are you about to come into a ton of money?
No. No, I definitely don't think that. I don't think my finances are going to be getting better soon, Ray. let me just say that.
Good God.
But anyway, any more voice memos, Ray? All right, there you go.
Sean John, what's going on? It's Luke Arcani here.
Oh.
What a rough 2 days at Oracle Park for the Phillies. Back-to-back shutouts. And just, what do you know? Inconsistent hitting once again from the Phillies lineup, especially against left-handed pitching. 29th in baseball in OPS to start the year against lefties. Not great. Lineup's got to figure it out. Yes, it's early, but got to figure it out sooner or later. Luckily for them, they get 3 right-handed starters versus the Diamondbacks this weekend back at Citizens Bank Park, the start of a 9-game homestand. Nice to talk to you guys.
Oh, great to have Luke.
See, you, Sean, and then Ray bringing up the World Baseball Classic stuff with Sanchez. Ray, what did I say all offseason? How does this team not win 90 games?
Pitching isn't as good as it was.
Right. Chris Sanchez, who logged a career high in innings last year, including the playoffs. I think it was over 200 innings. I think it was 214 or 211. He's never pitched that much before. So then he comes out the next year, instead of doing the regular routine of spring training, now you're throwing high leverage, high stress innings in the World Baseball Classic. And you saw how friggin' pumped up he was during those games.
Mm-hmm.
He's a maniac. And I already don't like where this is going. Hopefully he comes out the next start and he looks like the old Chris Sanchez. But yeah, I think you do have to now start. Now I'm certainly paying more attention to it.
Yeah, it's in the back of my mind. Like you said, with everything all included here, what we know, what was said to us about Lidge. Lidge was the problem. That was the initial issue, was exactly what Lidge said. So no matter what, I was already going into this World Baseball Classic concerned. The Phillies had a ton of players.
And Nola's looked great.
True.
He really has. As much as I was trying to tell Ray all season.
Yeah.
Nola was going to bounce back, and there was no problem.
Ray was downplaying Nola this upcoming season. What's the matter with him?
I'm not going to be mad at you guys. I'm still mad at Thompson. Those 3 runs, man, are going to be so valuable to me in September when we're talking about where his ERA is.
But, I mean, to your point from yesterday's game, Nola does what Nola does in the 6th inning. He puts a couple guys on, and that's where you have to worry about giving up the long ball. I know that the offense needs to score runs to win, so I don't blame Nola. But still, what's Rob Thompson doing? Should anybody have been surprised at that happening? Seriously.
It's a day off, too.
I know.
Not protecting anybody. Today they're doing nothing. Nothing.
Love that.
It's okay. It's fine.
All right.
It's April 9th.
Come on home.
Scotty Hartnell. Coming up. Flyers at the Red Wings tonight. We know their playoff chances are already pretty good. You get a win tonight, we might come in here tomorrow celebrating like something was clinched. That can't happen. But certainly with the Sixers, they've fallen now. But the Flyers right there are in position to make the playoffs. And how great would that be? Scotty Hartnell knows what playoff hockey's like in this town. And we're going to talk about it coming up next. Middays of Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about Comer and Cross. Let's talk about your garage floor, because I don't want to talk about my garage. Let's talk about your garage. You can make it look great with Comer and Cross. So if you're cracked, stained, peeling garage, it is time for an upgrade, and you can do that with Comer and Cross. They will transform your entire garage floor in just one day, and right now, 50% off installation. But check this out. It's not epoxy. It's not paint. Comer and Cross is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift, ever. They handle everything. They move out your items, and then they're not just putting the custom finish over top of it. They're repairing your cracks and damage. Only then do they install the custom finish that looks like a showroom floor. You're getting 50% off installation as well. It's fast and clean, built to last. It is the perfect showroom finish when you come home. So you know better than I do if your garage floor has stains, it's cracked, it's peeling, whatever. If you thought about this, maybe think about it right now, because you're getting a great deal again. 50% off with Comer and Cross. The website, COMERcross.com, ComerCross.com, or 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR or ComerCross.com.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Air postseasons. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. A big night tonight in Philadelphia sports. 2 teams trying to push towards playoff chases. The Sixers in Houston against the Rockets at 8 o'clock. Sixers currently 8th in the East. They are 1 game back of that 6th seed, the seed that would keep them out of the play-in tournament. There are 3 games left in their season. The game tonight you can catch right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We spoke to ESPN's Bobby Marks earlier on in the show about that postseason push, about the future plans for this Sixers team. team. A ton of great stuff in there. You catch that conversation one more time on our website or the Fanatic app. Flyers, Red Wings at 7 o'clock tonight. Flyers third in the Metro Division. Red Wings in a playoff chase of their own. Flyers with just 4 games left in the season, looking to further cement their place in the playoff picture. The game is on WMMR tonight, and we'll talk to Scott Hartnell coming up in the next segment. Phillies have a day off today. They lost 5-0 to the Giants yesterday. They've gone 20 innings without scoring a run. They'll be back home this weekend. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call 24-hour victim helpline 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Home of the Sixers, but also the Flyers. But in the instances where the Sixers and the Flyers play at the same time, the Flyers could go to our sister station, WMMR. So for Flyers hockey tonight, MMR. Mm-hmm. For the 76ers game, that's going to be right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I
love it.
Sound good? Love it. Love it.
Rack 'em.
Really big game tonight for the Flyers. They get a win. I haven't looked in. I haven't looked at if they win, what's the percentage chance that they win? But I mean, it seems like everybody has said. Russ Joy joined us the other day. Everybody has said like, yeah, you win, then you're almost surefire in.
Yeah, look, it's playoff time, right? These regular season games are essentially playoff games. I know we were talking about whether or not they could clinch before the final game of the regular season, having some backroom conversations, and wouldn't that be something that we could write home about if all in all they were able to get the job done before the final game of the regular season. But we'll see. Again, one game at a time. This team is rolling. I was yelling about it yesterday. I know we're going to talk a ton about it coming up here with Scotty and even have some fun, too, as well. Reminiscent from 2012 as you were bringing up the Hulk Hogan deal. Just want to put this out there just so you know. I Googled it, and on Reddit, that dude who was behind the bench that did the Hulk Hogan passed away due to cancer. Hartnell,
I do remember that.
Hartnell signs a picture, gave it to the family, I want to say. I'm seeing here right now.
Scotty's on the line.
Oh, he's on the line.
Oh, he's Zoom. I didn't know he was going on Zoom.
Oh, see, I'm looking for the number. My bad.
The
All
great
right.
Scott Hartnell joins John Marks, Sean Brace, and Ray Dunn. What's up, Scott?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good. So tell us about that story, because I remember fondly we were going back, and we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but the possibility of having a playoff series against the Penguins is unbelievable. But that Hulk Hogan Penguins fan, I always remember, and I always remember you mocking him. So tell us about that, and tell us about what happened after he passed.
Yeah, no, great game. I think it was game 82, I believe, and they were being absolute idiots. The Pens were. They were going after our top guys, and everyone was fighting, and so I was just kind of on the bench looking back at the fans, and just a cool experience. And then the one man he was giving me the Hulkster, so I gave him, "Can you hear me now?" Right, and so I think somebody tweeted at, like, "Oh, way to make fun of a fan that has cancer," all this kind of stuff. I'm like, how am I supposed to know? And they were just ruthless to me online, right? And I said, I'm like, we're all entertainers at the end of the day, right? I was just having fun with him. I'm sure he enjoyed it, and it was when it did pass, did sign something, and I was able to get to his family, so that was kind of neat.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so it was actually what I wanted to ask you before we talk about the game here tonight. Is that it's been a little while for the Flyers, right? Like you came to the team. Yeah, it's been a minute, and you were a part of at least a run where went to a Stanley Cup. There was some playoff success. There was real memories from that team and from your run. But what would you tell some of these young guys that are on the team right now? What would you tell them about a playoff run in Philadelphia with the Flyers?
They're experiencing it right now, right? How tough these games are, what's on the line, right? And they've kind of thrived in this opportunity here the last, 10 days, a couple weeks. So I'm excited for them. They're going at this thing head on, but playoffs is a different animal. Everything is just amped up, and I don't think you could have dreamed of a better matchup, right? Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, and just the hatred between the two cities. Sidney Crosby, probably one of the best players ever to play, and trying to boo him out of the building, if that does happen. But yeah, just enjoy it. And they're so young too, and they're naive, and I think that's kind of helping them right now. There's not the pressure of like, oh, we got an older team, and this is our last kick at the can. They love each other. You can tell that. The celebrations, the young kids that just came back, Tyson Forster, the new kid that came up, Porter Martone, just a cool. They're vibing right now, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's like they don't know what it's like playing in Philly with pressure. You're so right. They're just playing. And it's interesting. Since the Olympic break, they've really been on fire. And it feels like from a number of different angles, everything has come together. But also the head coach, Rick Tocchet, under a lot of fire earlier in the season, his handling of Mitchkoff and a lot of other things that he's doing. Let me ask you this, Scott. Is the hard work and the aggressive coaching that Tocchet has given them this year, are you seeing the payoff right now for the team?
Yeah, he's a teacher, I want to say, first and foremost, right? He's out there trying to help after practice, working on draws, positions on how to defend, things like that, right? So he's been a very good communicator, I think, to these guys, and that helps a young group, right? To have that kind of that guy with his career that he played, his coaching tenure as well, had some good teams as well. So he's done a good job. And, for Mitchkoff and all that kind of stuff, I don't know, his Russian bots, going after him online saying, oh, play him more. He wasn't playing that good. So why would he be playing more? And that's just frankly the truth, right? And he stepped it up here, I believe, after the Olympic break as well. He's getting his points, which is great. He's making plays, chipping in with the odd goal. So it's exciting to see this guy kind of heat up at the right time, right? You can't do it without Mitchkoff. You can't do it without Dan Vladar in net. The defense has been really, really strong. And the young kids up front, Barkey and Bump and, all these young young guys, it's pretty incredible.
Scotty, I just got a brand new 85-inch TV, and let me tell you, your hair is glorious. It's. I mean, it might be more glorious. Well, I'm talking not right now, but last night I'm watching, or 2 nights ago at the pregame. I'm curious, when you bump into Ricky Bowe in the hallways down there at NBC Sports, do you rub it in? Do you say, "Look at this, look at this mop"?
He's a little 10 up top, so I give it to him.
I love
Ben
it.
Davis, he's so big I can't see the top of his head, but those guys are awesome. They're, when Flyers were scoring, I believe it was on Tuesday, last game, and they were like a 10-second ahead of us, and they're cheering. I thought something was happening with the baseball game, and lo and behold, we hit a little bit after, so they're cheering for us just like we're cheering for the Phils. So pretty incredible little workspace that we have.
Now, Scott, we talked a little bit about Tocchet. Just what the hell happened? How did this team go from losing 12 of 15, head into the break, get a nice little breather, don't get me wrong, but then just come out and look like a whole new team? Really, they could talk about all the changes, but is it just all mental? Is it just believing in yourself? But what changed ultimately with this team?
For Sam Emerson, I think he came out 5-0 after the break, so that's huge, right? Dan Vladar can't play every game. This is the most he's ever played in a season. So goaltending has been the biggest story for us, right? It was a little average there in January. You get 3 weeks off. You go away for a few days. Then you get back training, and Michkov as well. He was the guy that came into camp out of shape. He said it. He looked it a little bit slow, and he's been a lot better since that break, getting in the gym and training and all that stuff. So, starts with the defense, right? Ristolainen and Sanheim, they got paired together. It was Sanny and Cam York. They put Risto up there, a righty-lefty. They've been a good pair. Drysdale and Cam York, they've been solid as well. And Sealer, he's a mainstay on that back end as well. And Andre and Juleson mixed in with him. So it's defense has been so good, right? They're giving up 1 to 2 goals a game. And when you're doing that, you're going to win a lot of games, right? So, and now the offense has kind of popped up a little bit. If you can get that power play clicking at all, getting a goal to get you over that hump here in these next few games, it's going to be an incredible end of April.
Man, Scott, you sound like you could do this for a living. You actually do. You do. You're in the studio tonight. The game's on NBC Sports Philadelphia Plus, because you have the Sixers and the Flyers playing at the same time tonight. Right. So you got to check them out. Check out the game on NBC Sports Plus. Now, I noticed because you're on Zoom, you're wearing the hat backwards. So I'm just waiting for the same energy from our YouTube chat. Because whenever I'm a backwards hat guy too, and I'm a snapback guy, Scott. Oh God, they hear, you're a grown man wearing your hat on backwards.
You ain't Scotty Hartnell though, bro. Sorry,
I'm not, and he's got great hair too, so it definitely works. But we're cut on the same cloth as the hat, or the backwards hat snapback. Just so you know.
Yeah, I got which one's this one? This one's Muirfield Golf Course in Ohio. So. That's my favorite course back in Ohio when I played for the Blue Jackets. So,
wow. Didn't it just have a U.S. Open at Muirfield? Am I wrong on that?
They have it's the Memorial Tournament every year. It's like they call it like the fifth major or whatever, just like the TPC Sawgrass, the players. It's one of those big ones where you get all the big guys coming to play because it's Jack's course.
That's right.
Pretty cool spot.
So are you currently watching the Masters? You sound like a big golf fan. I know Sean, the Masters is on in our studio, so he's watching it. Do you follow golf pretty closely?
I love golf. I actually haven't got it on. I was playing tennis this morning, get a little workout in before you guys, and then I'll be probably perched up on this patio here right now and watch it.
What's your game like, Scotty? What do you shoot, if you don't mind me asking?
Anywhere from 79 to 99. And everywhere in minute.
You broke 80 though. You've broken 80 before.
Yeah, I've done it a few times.
Wow, that's
usually mid 80s, but depends how. If I have a few beers, I'm really good. If I'm stone sober, I'm not very good at all. So
no, it's like that. It's like that in darts with me.
Yeah, I love the game.
Darts and beer pong. The right buzz is the perfect buzz, but the minute you go one beer over, then you're shooting all over the place. So it's
all about the right chemistry, right?
So Scotty, listen, we'd love to talk to you again, because hopefully this is going to be, tonight a win, but we're talking next week about playoffs here. Doesn't it? It does feel like that there's momentum. And like with the Sixers right now, it's like, this is good. Not going. The Flyers feel like that this is the right time, the right spot. The team's playing. They're playing great at the right moment. Just heading into the playoffs. So hopefully next week we get you on again, and we're talking about playoff hockey here with the team.
Yeah, no, I'd love it. And they could put an absolute dagger in Detroit Red Wings season tonight, right? So they win in regulation. I think the odds, I don't know if they're got to be close to 70% to get in. You need a little bit of help, and that'll even boost it even more. So we'll do her next week once we get in.
Are they winning tonight, Scotty?
I think so. I got a good feeling. I did have a good feeling in Jersey. It was kind of a scary kind of trap game.
Yeah.
They fired their GM. I was like, oh gosh. And then 3 minutes in, they're up 2-0. I'm like, okay.
That's what, dude, Scott. That's what I said, because that was such a big win that they had. They win in overtime. Everybody's telling them how great they are. You go up to New Jersey, they fired the coach and they fired the GM. It is a trap game.
Yeah.
But they came out and they scored 2 goals in the first couple minutes. It was like it took the edge off of everything. It was a great performance. It really was.
Yeah.
Scott,
all right. Well, go.
Appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Take care, guys.
We'll talk to you,
man.
Scott Hartnell.
Nice work.
We'll be in the studio tonight.
Yeah, man. Look, as we sit here, of course, I don't expect Scotty Hartnell to say, no, they're going to lose. But he did bring you on the inside where he thought they were going to have a little bit more of a difficult time on the road against the Jersey Devils. Of course, we realize or understand how that opened up and, as you said, took the edge off after scoring 2 goals quick by Zegras. But here we are tonight, and look, they went up to Detroit, had 4 or 5 goals, or it was 4-0, and then all of a sudden that game got a little dicey, and I think they ended up winning 5-3 in that game. So they've been in the barn before and won.
Yep.
This is a monster. It's a playoff game. That's it. Yep. Simple as that.
Yeah, right. Just saying, Scotty and I had the same take on the game. Just a couple hockey guys.
You're the man. I
Knowing
mean, you
hockey.
are the hockey man around here. I've said that all year. If you want hockey content on this station, it's Middays with Marks, and it's John Marks specifically.
Pucks and sticks.
I'm not going to take all the credit. This is a show. It's a team.
Pucks and sticks.
Yeah, no one knows hockey like.
Oh yeah.
This is fun.
Oh yeah.
It's far more. The 76ers very quickly. Not that it's turned negative, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They went from, wow, it really looks like they're going to be the 6th seed to, oh, man, like, can we be the 8th seed?
Well, you know what the big difference is, John, right?
What?
The Sixers can change everybody's attitude. Just win.
By winning tonight.
That's it. You want to win. I'm not holding you back. You're Joel Embiid, Maxi, Paul George, VJ, Oubre, Nick Nurse, dial up a couple good plays. I'm not holding you back. You can win tonight and change everybody's vibe.
If the Sixers are going to make the playoffs in a non-play-in game, they're going to have to win out. So they have the Rockets tonight in Houston. They're 4-point underdogs in the game. Pacers, Bucks. Pacers are trying to lose. Bucks are trying to lose. But Doc Rivers in his last game, he's going to coach. Who knows what he's going to like? Who knows? Here we go again. If they lose to Doc Rivers with that team that hates him, I may never watch another 76er game ever.
Whether
right?
you like it or not.
But anyway, tonight's the game. Tonight is the game, and you're going to find out a lot about this team because they're not winning the NBA Finals. They're not making the Eastern Conference Finals. They're not. If they do, I would be love to say they're wrong. I was wrong. I was dead wrong. That should not be the expectation of anybody. The expectation should be let's win tonight and let's be the 6th seed and let's see who we're going to play in the first round of the playoffs. But you need to win tonight. And for all the talk from all the national people and all the shows, the Chris Broussards, whoever they bring on ESPN, whoever they bring on First Take, whoever it is, and it's just okay, well, here's what we're going to talk about. All right, I'm going to be the one that says, well, Paul George, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, like this is a legitimate team. They're dangerous. Look at how well Paul George has played, and all of that is true, but they actually need to do it.
Yeah.
It's not First Take. Now they actually need to go on the court tonight and beat a really good Rockets team.
Yeah, Rockets are deep and on a heck of a run, 8-2 in their last. Yeah, they're deep team. That's right, 50 wins. That's nice. Sixers have 43 wins. That's a funny thing when you look back at this season, and it's not over by no means. But nobody wants to hear it. But with everything they've been through, it is pretty solid. I don't want to say impressive, but pretty solid to see their record being what it is, right? Right now they're 43 and 36. You're just up against it with your max players, nonsense you have to deal with, X, Y, Z, and here we are. Look, like I said, you want to change my vibe, just win. Beat the Houston Rockets.
But you feel really good about tonight.
No. What, the Flyers, sure, yeah.
Hold on. Are you in? I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
Are you in? Damn it.
I'm like Larry David here.
Sometimes people get committed to their takes, and that's where I have to be today.
All right.
Okay?
Yep.
This team is winning the game tonight.
Okay.
The Sixers are winning tonight. You know why? Because Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, we can think what we want about Joel Embiid, but the immense talent of Joel Embiid, and then you look at what Paul George has done since he came back, everything that they say on the shows is true. Paul George is a really good player. Embiid has all-world talent, and these two young guards, they got to put it together. I think they will. Because it's kind of a short line. BetParks app was 4. I'll check to see if money's moved it.
That's fair. It is a short line for two teams that seem like they're going completely in the opposite direction. Again, though, Joel Embiid, like if he's out there, he's the best player on the floor. Like majority of the time, no matter the team they're going up against, unless it's SGA. Like even Wemby, right? In that first half, curious, as great as Wemby is, JoJo was giving it to him.
Yeah, he was.
Would you say Joel Embiid was the best player on that floor, first half? Or would you give it to Wemby?
Well, I mean, it's close.
It's definitely close. But I would give the edge almost to JoJo. He's got the weight. They were battling.
How about so how about this? Is tonight an Embiid game or is tonight an everybody else game?
It's got to be everybody else. You just got a great Embiid. You got a really good Embiid.
See, I disagree. I don't think you can win without I don't need Joel Embiid scoring 45 points. I can't have Joel Embiid flopping all over the floor and turning the ball over. You know what I'm talking about. The erratic Joel Embiid. Uh-oh.
Tell me he's ruled out.
Ray, do we have breaking news?
Yep, we do. This is according to Sixers Adam. The Sixers just ruled Joel Embiid out for tonight's game against the Rockets. He has an illness.
Boom. Boom.
With an illness?
Boom.
For those that are not watching on YouTube, John Marks has left the building.
Oh, an illness. Joel Embiid is out. Oh my goodness. That's just it's perfect. It encapsulates this season so well. Right there. It is just perfect how that just played out.
Oh man.
Joel Embiid is ruled out with an illness in a must-win game.
All right, I'm back. Well, whatever that line was before, it ain't going to be the same now.
You were saying?
Yeah, maybe. Hold on, let me get that line right away.
You still believing tonight, huh? You still believing? It's only bumped up to 5.5.
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh,
that was perfect timing. Illness.
I got a text.
Is he
Joel,
sneezing?
man.
Is he sneezing? Is he sneezing again? Is that what's going on here?
I don't even know where it is on my board.
Like what? Come on, Joe.
Sneezing and sneezing.
Thanks.
You guys may have to take it for the rest of the segment because I'm speechless.
Well, let me do this for you. You ready?
So hold on a second.
Yeah.
Is this Embiid fighting with the organization and saying, I'm sick? Is this Embiid not showing up for
that could be
team activities, so they rule him out because of an illness? I mean, is that really far-fetched to think that they have it's game day, they're on the road, we know what they have in the morning, whether it's a shoot-around or a team activity. Like, we would be naive to think that couldn't be a possibility. And once you set the standard and you say, sorry, if you don't make the team activity, we're ruling you out, then could that happen again? Oh, my God, like, I need more information on this. I need more information, and I don't need somebody being like, oh, well, he's sick. No! I need, even if it's an opinion, I need it. Do I need to say anything else about why you need to get rid of this guy? I can't go through this for another year. It's not like Sixers fans have been given a bleep sandwich for how many freaking years with this
That
team?
is correct.
Seriously, because that's really what it's all about. For everybody who wants to be mad at me because I don't like Joel Embiid and I say to get rid of him and do whatever else. This isn't about me. This is about you. If you're happy with this being what you get from your basketball team, then bring him back for another year. Everything's fine. Jesus Christ.
Real quick, though, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
1:30. He's not on the ice, but, man, he is in the game. One of the greatest voices in the city's history right here will be joining us. For just to, check in with us. All right?
Is that a tease or are we saying who it is?
We got a special guest that's going to join us at 1:30.
All right, special guest coming up next. Shout out to Eric from Guided Door and Window. They were out doing something at my home, and he had said, oh, I used to love you. And I'm like, dude, I'm on the radio right now. and he said, I had no idea you were back on the radio. And he tuned in. Tune in, Eric. You're in the car all day. Middays with Mark, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn every day.
Lock it in.
10 to 2. Don't go anywhere. Coming back with a very special guest.
Oh, this is awesome. I can't wait to talk to this gentleman. We're talking royalty, my friend. Royalty.
Get out of here. That's coming up next. Middays with Mark's 97.5 The Fanatic. But I was just talking about Bet Parks. All right, damn it. I'm so glad I didn't bet the 76ers. Maybe they do win tonight. Who knows? Maybe they rally around not having Joel Embiid. Not likely. The Bet Parks app has you covered for Pro Golf's biggest weekend of the year. They teed off this morning in Augusta, and check it out. The only major golf event that's played at the same venue every year. You know what that means? You know how the course plays. Everything else, right? The 90th edition at Augusta. Bet individual golfer performances. Bet matches, top finishers, and more. It's time to play. To make your downtime fun time on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. It's the only online casino I would ever recommend. And sportsbook, where there's always another way to win. And right now, new casino users, get 250 bonus spins on the hot online slot game Gold Trio Leprechaun's Luck, plus up to a $1,000 bonus back in the first 24 hours. Play all your favorite casino games and bet on your favorite sports. The BetParks online casino and sportsbook app, where there's always another way to win. You must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, or Maryland. New users only. Terms and conditions do apply. See betparks.com for details. Casino bonus must be wagered. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Embiid is out. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. And on a big night for two teams in town, their playoff chases. The chances that the 76ers win tonight took a hit. We just found out Joel Embiid has been ruled out for tonight's game with the Rockets due to an illness. The Sixers currently 8th in the East. They're a game back of the 6th seed. They're a game back of getting themselves out of the play-in tournament. Right now, sitting in that play-in tournament, just 3 games left in the season. And tonight against the Rockets in Houston at 8 o'clock, they will not have Joel Embiid. The game, you can listen to it right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Flyers and Red Wings tonight at 7 o'clock. The Flyers third in the Metro Division right now. Detroit's got a playoff chase of their own going on. The Flyers just 4 games left in their season. You can listen to the game tonight on WMMR. We were joined in the last segment by Scott Hartnell. You can listen to that back on our app or our YouTube channel. Phillies day off today. They lost 5-0 to the Giants yesterday. They've gone 20 innings without scoring a run. This update is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, develops better athletes and better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Days with Marks. We just had the news. Joel Embiid's been ruled out with an illness for tonight's game.
Perfect timing, too.
Yeah.
As we were waxing poetic about their chances.
Yeah, I my heart's been ripped out of my chest just the effort that I made today in trying to convince everybody that they can win the game tonight, and that I was in. But Sean, you had said that we have a very special guest on the that's calling in.
So excited to introduce this gentleman. We are talking about royalty when it comes to Philadelphia sports, and no, he's not on the ice, but he is at every game, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only. We're talking about PA announcer for your Philadelphia Flyers. Get fired up with the great Lou Nolan here on Middays with Marks. Lou, how are we doing this afternoon, sir?
You guys are very kind. I'm glad to be on the show.
Oh, no, you're very
I'm just
kind.
a guy that shows up and talks.
No,
come on, Lou. You know what? I would expect that from you because you're a very humble gentleman. But you've been doing what you're doing. We know Matt Corder's retiring this year after 28 seasons. You've been doing this with the Flyers since 1972.
50 plus.
Holy cow, man.
You've seen a thing, Lou.
Been a few years, that's for sure.
Couple years.
Well, hang on. Let me just say this, Lou. That's the point, right? I hope you know that. Like, we can't walk into that barn, as we call it, and not hear your voice. Like, Matt's stepping down. God bless him. And it's going to be really tough to go to a Sixers game and not hear Matt Cord. I can't even think for a second about going to a Flyers game and not hearing Lou Nolan, of course, with the Pico power play, sir.
Yeah, the Pico power play has certainly gotten a life of its own.
Yeah, it sure has. But you know why?
Pretty amazing.
You know why? How you do it. I mean, it doesn't become something unless we do it. And you got the best pipes in the business and everything else. But Lou, so from your perspective, because I said this because we're all Flyers fans here, but as a Philadelphia sports fan, we kind of have our favorites, right? Like a lot of people love the Phillies first or the Eagles first. Flyers fans are unique in that they're so diehard, but also when you look at the big picture, you go through peaks and valleys and things. And like, I'm most happy as we sit here and the Flyers, and they still need to finish this off. They need to win some games to make the playoffs. But for Flyers fans and the media and the broadcasters and you to have what feels like a real nice little run here, I feel good for all the dieharders that have been here night in and night out, day in and day out for this team.
As I do. It's been some time, that's for sure. A lot of games, a few years. And, we weren't close.
Yeah.
We were out of it. And it all goes back to the excitement that happened when Bush stopped the shot and got us into the playoffs. Then we went to the final, 6 games. That Patrick Kane, who we face tonight, he was with Chicago at that point, and he had the game winner, although our goalie's still looking for it. Nobody knew where it was. I mean, I knew that Pat had gotten it because he was jumping all over the place.
Yeah.
Throwing his gloves and his sticks and anything else he could get his hands on. But rough day.
Yeah, well.
But good things are coming.
Better days ahead. That's right, Lou. So talk to us a little bit, man. Like, this team has turned it on since, of course, the Olympic break. What has been the difference? You're down on the ice. You get to see these guys play really hard night in, night out at home. What's been the big difference in your opinion?
Well, number one, goaltending. That can be the big difference. Number two, the speed has caught up with itself. Because, I was at practice the other day, and I watched it. I was doing an event, and it happened on the practice. And it's just amazing. I mean, the way it works, the speed that it goes through, and the passes, stick to stick to stick, just amazing. I don't know how the guys do it, and really in tight quarters. So this is a good young team, and then you throw a couple people back in the lineup, Forster, who's a hell of a player, and then you throw this guy Martone in there. He's a 19-year-old college freshman.
Yeah.
He's still a freshman year, It's
pretty amazing.
It is. And he is mature beyond his years, that's for sure.
Yeah, went on from taking on Western Michigan to now beating the Boston Bruins with that winning goal the other night. Luke, give us your honest opinion. It's only us here talking. Do you like Gritty?
Oh yeah, I do.
I play it.
I like Gritty as Gritty's a great guy. He has taken that suit and really, I remember the first game when they introduced him. It told me they were going to introduce him, and I introduced him, and he came out. People booed him, and then all of a sudden, he took out like 3 goalies with one hip check who were racing one another, and they said, "You know what? Maybe this guy's all right." And then some of the antics, some of the things, he shoots people with a T-shirt gun, theoretically by mistake, throws pies at his Secret Service men, his players, from other teams. He is, without a doubt, a beauty.
Yeah, I love Gritty. Love Gritty. One of the best. Absolutely about that. And Lou, and so are you, man. I can't thank you enough for joining us here. Obviously, we got ourselves a heck of a run, and hopefully it continues to go, man. But I honestly, tremendous honor to get you on the show here, sir.
Well, that's nice of you to say that, and I'm honored to be on with you guys because you have a hell of a show there.
Oh, thank you. And hopefully we're going to see a lot of Pico power plays.
Hopefully they can convert on a few of those, too.
Good.
Yes.
Very good.
Was that good?
Guys.
Was that good, Lou? What would you give him?
That was a good one.
It was all
That was a good one. If you have a second, Pico commissioned a button, and I got the button here, and I don't know if the batteries are still good, but listen to this.
And the fires are going on the Pico power play.
Get out of here.
They got to sing like the button from That Was Easy.
Yeah, the Staples. Yeah, the Staples. That was easy. Yeah, I remember that. That is so awesome.
Yeah. Oh, who knows? Who knows?
Thanks, Lou.
Lou, you're the best.
Hey guys, take care. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. We actually had. This was when I worked with Glenn Foley and Michael Bradley, and Staples. Staples was a sponsor somehow of the station, and we would hit that button. Michael Bradley would do a live read, and he would end the live read with the Staples button. That was easy. There you go.
I have one of those.
Do you really?
Battery's dead.
Yeah, I have batteries at home. I'll bring them in.
That's what he said. He was like, I wonder if this is still going to work. Something tells me he doesn't hit that button all that often.
Right. I'd like to do another 4 hours of radio now that Joel Embiid's not playing tonight. Can I do that? Can I went back and Bill and Ricky didn't know, and I'm like, Embiid rolled out with an illness. Man. And they're like,
you wouldn't even expect it, though. Like, coming in here today, I guess, shame on us for just thinking, but, like, biggest game of this last 3-game stretch, you assume he's playing. It wasn't on the injury report. You just assume, hey, he's going to play the game. Like, if you're setting up your show for the day, and you're Ricky and Bill back there right now going through it, like, yeah, there's a big Sixers game tonight. And you're talking about the game. You're not setting up your show for the, will he, won't they?
What is acceptable? I'm just curious. What's acceptable?
Flu, where you can't get out of bed. But we know that's not what it is. It's a matter of, this is his way of fighting with the 76ers, which is really giving the middle finger to your team. Or, and this is my prediction, and I don't know this is only me predicting it, and I'm allowed to do this based on his history, is that they're on the road. Last time there was, a 10 a.m. shoot-around or film session or team meeting that he didn't attend. He was ruled out at that point. So we'd be naive to think the same thing didn't happen, and now the precedent was set. You can't let him not show up and not do the same thing.
Dude.
So they rule him out with the illness. Don't we believe that's the most likely scenario? Because, Sean, if he's sick and he's legitimately sick, I have nothing to say. If you're sick and you can't play, you're sick. Michael Jordan had the flu game.
Sneezing and sneezing.
What? So, all right, let me back this up right here. Okay, he's sick. Why are you ruled out right now? How many times have we brought this up to game time? How many times have he 6:30? We don't know if Joel Embiid's playing. He's playing. So why don't you wait 3 hours? So why don't you give it a shot?
For example, when I was sick, right around that snowstorm, when I had the stomach bug, I could have never played in any game. I couldn't get out of bed. I was so dead.
Right there with you.
I was sick. I was throwing up and whatever. If he has that, obviously we understand it. Does anybody believe when I hear that, that's when I'll believe it. If he actually has that, then the Sixers will come out and they'll make sure it's known that he had that. We're up against it.
It's a shame that we're even doubting it.
More angry, John, Sean, and Ray, and the YouTube chat recap. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm not angry when I talk about my hair, though. That's Morgenstern Hair Restoration. Experts in the industry. So if your hair's thinning, balding, bald, all stages of hair loss, guess what? It doesn't have to be like that. Your hair can look the way that you want to look. That's Morgenstern Hair Restoration. And you go to the people. You don't rely on Instagram commercials because, trust me, The people spraying their hair or putting shampoo in their hair that has this big, look how thick his hair is. That's not happening. Trust me. Morgenstern Hair are the experts, over 3 decades of experts with experience with hair. And that's Morgenstern Hair Restoration. They did my hair transplant. I still see them multiple times a year with maintenance. And right now, check it out. You get a hair restoration procedure, free Amated treatment with your transplant. It's worth $1,000. You get it for free. But really, if you hear me talking about it, you're unhappy with your hair, thinning and balding, non-invasive treatments are available. Give them a call today. Just get more information. You can speak to their hair team. 610-831-HAIR. 610-831-HAIR. Morgensternhair.com. Morgan with an E. Morgensternhair.com.
The Sixers are
So, and I'll say this again, and it's totally fair. It's totally fair to have the conversation based on his history.
Correct.
If he's legitimately sick, where he has the stomach bug or he has the flu and he's not able to play, then there's no issue. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's always something with him. He's sick. It's always going to be something with him. If he's legitimately sick, then and he can't play, like, what am I going to do? Am I frustrated that he's legitimately sick? Sure. But nobody should actually believe that.
Tony Jones, according to sources from The Athletic, Embiid reported feeling ill this morning. He is currently receiving medical treatment in Houston.
But already ruling him out, it's one thing if he's sick.
That's my issue.
Yeah, the Jordan flu game, believe what you want from it, but if you have the flu.
Yeah, JoJo ain't doing that performance. We know that. But however, can we just hold off from ruling? Like, Joe, really? Really, Joel? Come on,
That's
man.
my question is, because can they come? Because Tony Jones is reporting what he's being told.
Yep.
So do the Sixers not do the same thing, the mistake they made with Morey coming out and clearly being upset that he didn't make team activities, and then it became a big deal? Remember we said, Ray, if they just rule him out and nobody says anything, nobody says anything. Mm-hmm. Right? And if Embiid doesn't tweet, no one says anything. Right. But because he did, then he got asked on Friday night, and then he said he was mad. So was that the last game they played?
Saturday night. No, Monday night against the Spurs.
Monday night against the Spurs. But on Friday night, he said, ask Daryl Morey.
Yeah.
And he was pissed.
Yep.
So this is another illness. And again, it's like I'm totally frustrated if it is an illness, but if he's sick, he's sick. It's a bigger question. It's a bigger question for, well, you like at some point it's just got to stop.
It's so weak.
It is weak.
It's just so weak. Like if this is December, it's one thing. It clearly is a whole nother monster right now. You got 3 games left, dude. You're like, it shouldn't surprise me, and it shouldn't bother me the way it does because we've been getting this for as Sixers fans, literally for a long time. But it's like, Joe, you got to suck it up here, man. You have to. You really do. And I get it. That might come off a little cold and callous, but, man, these guys are professionals. And to be ruled out at out there, Houston time is an hour behind us, correct?
Yep.
So 12:30 their time.
It's kind of the same timeline as last time. Or maybe it was a little bit earlier.
But how come when he's a questionable, we don't know until literally 6 o'clock, 6:20? Why can't we just – the game is so important. Why can't we just wait and see?
It follows the same thing that happened before the Wizards game. It just does. They ruled him out early with an illness, but Morey said he wasn't healthy enough to make the team activity, so therefore we're ruling him out of the game. This follows the same MO of that.
I'll just say it straight up. It's something ain't smelling right, but we'll see how this one plays out. That's all. One man's take.
This is just kind of reaping what you sow when you're like the Sixers and Embiid at this point. Like, what are we going to trust?
Sneezing and sneezing and sneezing.
Tired, man.
How many years does this need to go on?
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. I'm tired, man. I can't do this anymore. It's just, it is misery right now as a Sixer fan. It just is. And it is because of the unknown with Joel Embiid.
Can we replay my Wolf of Wall Street speech at the beginning of the show, which I didn't believe? Where I'm trying.
Yeah.
Because I was in.
Keep trying.
Right. Literally, we labeled this as the season. That the only way they're making the playoffs as a regular seed is by winning out. And it starts tonight on the road against Houston.
76ers have decided that the path of going through the Knicks and the Celtics is too much. They want the 8th seed.
Can I just also ask this question? Like, he got dinged up against the Spurs. We said it in postgame, Sean and Sam. We said we wouldn't be surprised if he missed this game due to that. They're not lying to us, right? Like, let's just have an open conversation. They're not. There's no way they're hesitant to tell us that he got injured against the Spurs and therefore he's dealing with an illness now.
Of course, it's a possibility.
Oh my goodness!
Again,
right?
Yeah. What level of trust should we have?
Yeah. No, none. And by the way, he is so sensitive to the injury stuff. And his camp is so sensitive to the injury stuff. This has been going on for years.
Yep.
All right? Literally, it's been going on for years.
And all here in Philly.
And so if you think that it's not possible that they're terming this an illness because they don't want, maybe even if it's some of the 76ers to where they're like, they're saying like, okay, we already have the playing game locked in. So it's right. Would you say right now it's certainly more likely they're not the 6th seed than they are the 6th seed?
Are we hanging a banner for the playing game that we made it?
I mean, at this point, I hope they lose the playing game and they're just gone. But maybe they look at it and they say, okay, because it's not even that he's injured, Sean. He's always injured.
I know.
It's not, and that might say like you're always going to be managing his knees and the other. Maybe it's another injury. I don't know. So they term it an illness, and because they don't want people to think that he has a real injury. Dude, I don't know. So that's what I'm talking about. We're spending time trying to figure out the friggin' psychology behind him not playing. Or if they're telling the truth or not. Or did they rule him out because they didn't show up to another team activity? Because they did that last week. All of it's fair. Anything we say right now about Joel Embiid is completely freaking fair.
Absolutely.
And this isn't 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. This has been too long. It's too much. I want out. Yeah. I want out of this relationship. I need Joel to cheat on me so I can just say, I needed this be a Russini thing. Let me get evidence that he's cheating on me, so now he has to leave.
JoJo needs to go lock hands with somebody, different team.
You know what I mean? They set Russini up because the husband maybe says, you know what? If she gets caught cheating on me, now I'm leaving you. Screw you, and everybody would understand. I need Embiid to cheat on us so we can just say goodbye. Because you know why? You know how many people out there are still going to say, you can't trade Joel Embiid. He's the MVP.
Oh,
bah, 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 bah. You're telling me you can keep doing this? Jesus. Can't do it anymore, man. This is supposed to be fun. When was the last time we had fun with the Sixers? How many years?
I had fun back on January 22nd, the last time they beat the Houston Rockets.
In general. When was the last time the Sixers were fun?
Yeah, it's beating me down, man. I'm defeated. I'm a defeated Sixer fan.
How many years?
When Embiid won MVP?
Yeah, that was
2
fun.
years ago?
That was fun. Yeah, that Boston series,
They got up 3-2?
Okay, that
was fun.
That was a pretty good run.
I ripped my shirt off with the Brooklyn Nets series.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a video with my big belly hanging out with Sean. I was at Bankroll. Remember that place?
I can see you ripping off.
It was open for like 6 months.
Like many places. All right, real quick, YouTube chat recap.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in?
Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
I'm not in any mood for any nonsense today. Just go ahead and go.
Ray gets more action at these live events than a napkin dispenser at a chili cook-off. MBD from the YouTube chat.
Yes, coming up on Sunday, Ray's broadcasting live from the Glen Mills Rally House. So if you're a cougar or a MILF like, what's her name? Diana Rossini, come out.
Go get
and meet Ray. Diana Rossini said that, not me.
She did.
I
say
didn't
that.
say that. I haven't used that term.
She did say that.
All right, go ahead.
John was hoping that a handsome husband was $60 short out there somewhere. Dawood from the YouTube chat.
Dawood.
It would have been nice. Yeah, I would have liked to be able to hand the money that I found back to somebody because $60 is a lot of money.
A lot of money.
$65 is a lot of money.
To this day and age.
Yep. All right, what's next?
We need to introduce Russini to Ray Dunn. It would be game over for Vrabel at that moment. Kieran from the YouTube chat.
She might be a smoker. She's definitely a partier. She might be a smoker.
Yeah. Are you saying she's a drunk smoker? Like the cigarettes don't count when she's drinking?
I just take her word for it. She's a partier.
All right, any more, Ray?
Scott Hartnell could be Dutz's dad with that hair. JM from the YouTube chat.
Actually, I think yesterday, the wrestling name. Come on.
Salvatore Sincere.
I was actually looking at him thinking it could be Dutz's dad.
Dutz has good hair.
They all have good hair.
Dutz doesn't have the same size as Sal.
We had a royalty as far as voices are concerned, and we had wrestling royalty yesterday.
Sure did. And Scotty Hartnell's royalty as well.
Yeah,
great hair. All right, what's next?
Embiid's sickness is that he's allergic to the hardwood. Colby from the YouTube chat.
Oh,
correct. Nailed it.
And of course, he's receiving medical attention. You know.
I asked what's acceptable, and I don't think anything is. Get out there and play, man.
No, I mean there's scenarios where you can't play.
You give it a shot, and you go to the locker room if you can't play.
It's the boy that. Well, you also don't get ruled out yet.
Correct.
It's the boy that cried wolf. It's with Joel Embiid. No one's going to believe anything based on his history.
And then people are going to be arguing, oh, the team ruled him out. This is the problem.
Coming up next, Unfiltered, Ricky and Bill. See you.